Sick.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I've got to share it.
I've got the music inside me. It turned off.
No, you're not.
No, it turned off.
Oh, I know. Fucking finally. Here. Let's go to our video views here.
Spinach tits.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
It's a fucking criminal.
You're a criminal.
Smooth criminal.
God, quit it. No. Okay. It is me. Who else uses this fucking phone? Seriously. Nobody.
The NSA.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys.
Your channel. Here we go. Boom.
Dog, you gotta fix your ear. Here you go. Now go lay down.
Rue.
Go lay down. Now they're all up again. Sounds like fucking Santa Claus jingling around.
Jingling around. All right. Let's do this shit. I think I got it posted. Steven, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I did some bottling today, as you know. That was a lot of fun. Have you ever... I felt like I was part of an episode of how it's made.
That's kind of like when you brought it up last night. It just sounded fun.
Yeah,
to
dude.
be a part of.
It was fun. It wasn't that bad, actually, either. You would think, like, oh, this is going to be kind of boring. Sounds like work. But it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was actually pretty badass. Here, I'm gonna...
Part of the production process.
Here, I want to write a post.
Poster up.
To the public. Oh, wait. Yeah. Can you hear?
I just heard that.
Oh, that's my phone. Oh, God, I cannot work my fucking phone today.
It's all that smoke.
Done. All right.
It's just not that great. It just doesn't taste that good.
Tube. On the YouTube. On the YouTube. All right. Damn. All right. It's all fucking done.
The YouTube.
Holy fuck. That's irritating.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, dude. It's a pain in the ass trying to get all this done. But anyways, we went and bottled my buddy's company called Colorado Cream. His name is John, and it's his own little company, Colorado Cream. If you haven't seen it on the shelves, it'll be he usually does it in a blue bottle, okay? But this is his new flavor called Colorado Cream Coffee.
I think that was a good choice with the brown.
Yeah. It's actually really fucking good. I want you to try it right now. Give you a little taste.
It just looks like chocolate milk.
I had a taste. It, dude. It's better than chocolate milk because it gets you drunk. But go ahead and try that out. Try that out for me real quick.
All right. See.
Let me know how you think.
I mean, it smells pretty good.
Yeah. And? Yeah?
Ooh, I like that. It's not too coffee.
No.
Not too much.
I would put this in my coffee.
Because I don't drink much coffee. sometimes some of those like coffee stouts and stuff just hits you.
Yeah.
So much coffee. That was very, very smooth.
Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. It's really good stuff. So if you ever see this in the store, pick up a bottle. They are not a sponsor. I'm just throwing it out there for anybody that wants to try a new creme liqueur. And it's a Colorado company, so
it's freaking good.
It's fucking delicious, right? Yeah.
That really is.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Go pick up a bottle. If you see it out there, go get it.
Pretty cool logo too.
Yeah, it's badass logo, and from what he was telling me, like most of the liquor comes from like one company, like one or two companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, isn't that kind of how everything is these days?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
everything just comes from like. There's like two options now. It's like Pepsi or Coke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like car batteries, or batteries in general. Mm-hmm. Like everybody thinks like, oh, if you buy Energizer, it's an Energizer or Duracell or Rayovac or whatever, right? But there's really only like 2 or 3 battery companies in the whole world that are making these batteries. That's it. You know. I don't know.
I'm really impressed.
You like it?
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I mean, I was gonna say I liked it no matter what.
Yeah.
But I really do like it.
It's you could just sip on it. It's like a sip. It's like it's thick. If you drink too much of it, you're gonna get a hangover. But it's
I could see that.
Yeah, but it's great in coffee.
Good. It's just really good.
Mm-hmm.
Could be really good wintertime too.
Yeah, he actually does he does other flavors too. He has a pumpkin spice that he puts out in October. He's got that white girl flavor. Got
to get on the pumpkin spice.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're making beverages and you don't have a pumpkin spice around Halloween, you're kind of fucking up.
Well, I want him to come out with like a mint flavor.
You could probably add something like that to this.
Oh yeah, no, he has a base. It's a base, okay, and then he adds the flavoring. It's a science. Like it's not, let's just mix some shit together. But there's like a science behind it all, like the amount, that you put in with the base, and then the amount of alcohol that you put in, and then the pH levels have got to be correct. There's all these little things, and he has all these jugs laying around of like his mixtures and everything. So it's a process to make alcohol. Like you would think it's just, whatever, just throw some shit together, but it's a real science.
And beyond that, like he's got to follow all the, the health guidelines and stuff like that too, for it to actually be sold in stores and stuff. I mean, it's tough. I always think it'd be fun to start some like small business, but like you really actually got to kind of know what you're doing.
Well, we were talking about starting a food truck business.
Yeah, I would love to do that,
dude. It wouldn't cost that much money to get into a food truck business. Not really at all. I was looking into it, and to buy like a trailer and deck it out to have a kitchen in it and everything, you're looking at like $45,000.
That's pretty much what I see. Yeah, 45, 50. I always thought like a good way to start if you have a good idea for a food truck or something, or just kind of one of those businesses, is maybe the first few years you're just like that tent, and you just go to as many events as you can. And because a lot of events and festivals and stuff like that, want vendors at their events. They want more. So I mean, if you can, kind of slowly build some money that way, you could start off pretty simple.
Yeah, I was looking into it after we had talked about it, and the first year would be the hardest year because you're getting your name out there. But if you make something that's really fucking good and simple, you could do it quicker.
It's got to be good. Yeah, I mean, clearly certain things kind of put you to the front, get your name out there quick. It can't be something everyone's done a million times.
No.
But I think I'd be most happy making food right now.
Yeah, dude. So there's this restaurant in Portland called Dues, okay? And it's a Korean food restaurant, but there's only 3 items on the menu. You have Korean Korean chicken, teriyaki chicken, teriyaki beef, and teriyaki pork. That's it, and you can get it in spicy, I think. But all they do is just they lay it out on some rice and some Caesar salad, not Caesar salad, iceberg salad.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put this special sauce on it. Boom, it's done.
That's what it is. You got to have a special sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a secret, something that just gives it that oomph.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, we can't get this anywhere else.
Yeah. That was a special sauce in it. It was that one special sauce that made it perfect. But it was pretty fucking good. And they had a line out the door.
Oh, yeah.
And it's super simple.
Well,
like, there's nothing to it, really.
Simplicity is key, too. I mean, so many restaurants that start failing. I mean, they have these insane menus with so much stuff on it. But, I think keeping it more simple and you can just focus on the quality, and the overall just presentation of the food and quality of it. And just all across the board, like, you don't go to this place and get, like, a different meal. You get the same meal and it tastes different or something from one day to the next. It's got to just be on point every single time. You know exactly what you're getting when you go there every single time.
Yeah, and when I was looking into the food truck thing, that was another thing, is simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Don't add too much shit on the menu.
Yeah.
Just add a few items, keep it at that.
Keep
high quality.
Just have the bangers.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, and I want to do the teriyaki chicken truck.
I like me some teriyaki chicken. I'd probably, with that menu, I would go with the beef.
The beef?
Go with the beef. Go with that teriyaki beef.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, the beef, the chicken, the pork, it was all good. It doesn't matter what it was. It was all fucking good.
Yeah.
But that simple of a menu, like, your costs, I mean, one chicken breast would probably cost you about $1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the salad and the rice would probably cost you another $1. So you're spending about $2 to $2.50 for the meal itself. Okay. Maybe $3. Okay. Let's say $3. And then you charge $10 for that. And these portions were huge. And he was charging like $10, but the portions were huge.
Yeah.
They were big. And then you charge, like, if they want some extra chicken on there, charge them like $3 extra for the extra chicken.
I'm kind of hungry right now.
I'm sorry.
Just talking about all this, I'm like, teriyaki beef.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, if there's a business to start, I think food trucks would probably be where it's at. Not a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, and you could see, I mean, a lot of really good restaurants downtown and stuff, they did start off as either a food truck or some type of mobile play, a pop-up stand or whatever it is, but they didn't just open a restaurant. They started from the bottom and slowly worked up.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, a restaurant's risky business right now, especially with the whole coronavirus thing, and they're talking about shutting shit down again.
I know.
This week was actually a real easy week of work, delivering alcohol, because everybody's afraid of getting shut down again. So a lot of my restaurants didn't order. So there's that thought. And then, dude, if they do another round of shutdowns for as long as they did last time, there's going to be a lot of restaurants that go out.
I know. Yeah, I know a restaurant. And, I live in Littleton. There are not a lot of locally owned restaurants around there. It's mostly chain restaurants and stuff like that. And the few local restaurants I know of, they are just barely hanging on right now. And it's like one more round and they're just done. And I mean, it's interesting because, like, I haven't heard too much rumblings about them, like, actually shutting down the way we were, but if you look at the numbers they're releasing every day of, like, cases and stuff, we're where we were when we shut everything down the last time. Yeah. So, and you start seeing more stores are asking for masks and stuff like that. It's like, God, like, so nice, kind of feeling like we're getting back to normal. Go to some concerts. Went to the Rockies game last night. It's just big old crowd. Is really nice. And then to think about, like, God, that would suck going back.
See, I'm not taking away anything from the coronavirus as far as it being, like, dangerous.
Yeah, no, okay? not at all.
It's a new disease.
Yeah.
But, we're very adaptive as humans. Like, we can adapt to this new virus. I mean, eventually we just got to treat it like the common flu. Okay? And a lot of people die from the fucking flu too.
Yeah.
So eventually we're just going to have to, like, move on, accept it for what it is, and just kind of live with it. Because it's here. It's not going away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've known fairly early on that this is going to be something that we're going to live with. But yeah, it's kind of figuring out what that new normal looks like, what precautions you do put in place. You know, you hear about these new variants and stuff, and it's like, what's the next one going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be another one. There's going to be another variant of it, and it's like, how, you know, this one is more contagious and, you know, is harder on people than than the original OG COVID or whatever you want to call it. So I just worry, you know, the next variant or the variant after that is going to be a freaking one that just blasts through everybody. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's been nice kind of feeling normal this summer. Yeah. It's just like, I'm trying to think.
Oh, this summer's been awesome.
I went somewhere in the late spring, early summer. I went to a restaurant. It was like the first weekend. They're like, the mask requirements weren't in place anymore. And it was so nice just like walking in and like, I really am not that bothered wearing a mask, and my kids don't really care, but it's just nice to kind of feel normal again.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a fuck about wearing a mask either.
I really don't. And, you know, yeah, it can be an inconvenience, but I don't know. I'm not that worried about that, but it was just, it was a nice summer. It was a nice summer.
Yeah, it was nice to get back to reality, or not reality, but like, you know, normalcy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little worried that if they do start shutting shit down again, then I won't be able to go on the Coheed and Cambria cruise with Bo. They'll cancel that again. Like,
I saw this meme just the other day that was like my fall plans, and then it was like the COVID-19 surge or whatever is just like smashing everything out. It's like, yeah, you know, we got to go on vacation a bunch this summer and just did all that, and we got plans for the fall for sure. And it's like, oh shit,
dude, I did more traveling this year than I have had done in the past 10 years.
I think
just this year alone.
I think that's probably, I mean, we went to like Wyoming a couple times and Florida, but you know, we went to Glenwood and Breckenridge, a bunch of fun stuff. And yeah, I don't think, as far as just going out of town, I don't remember a year I did more. Yeah. And there's still plenty of the year left, so it'll be interesting. You know, my kids go back to school in a couple weeks, and I don't know, could get even worse then, or who knows. Makes me sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of hearing about COVID.
We've been in it for a year and a half. Can you believe that? A year and a half.
Yeah. It's always bad news, too. Yeah. It's news that I don't care for. Yeah. But there is some good news, Steven.
There is good news.
There is good news. Some very great news, and that is that South Park has been renewed till 2027. What do you think?
Is that the date for it? I mean, is that how far? Because I know they did, 6 seasons? They were renewed for 6 seasons.
Yeah, till 2027, whatever that is.
They have like a undisclosed amount of movies that they're doing that will be released on Paramount.
It'll be 14 animated movies, I believe, was what I read.
It's a lot.
14 animated movies, and then you got 6 more seasons of South Park for $900 million.
$900 million.
Fucking A.
And they're not like roughing it by any means right now. They're doing very well, Trey and Matt. Like, they've got a lot of money, and now like a new contract for $900 million.
Yeah, they're billionaires now.
Freaking billionaires
for a silly
South
show.
Park. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty wild. What I was wondering is, are those seasons, the new seasons, are they still going to air on Comedy Central too, or is it going to be solely Paramount Plus now?
Well, they're on HBO Max right now.
Yeah, all the seasons are on.
Yeah, so I don't know if Paramount owns HBO or what.
No.
Or are they going to go from HBO Max to Paramount now?
That's what I mean. I know the movies are specifically for Paramount.
Right. Are they going to be South Park movies? Like movies for South Park?
That's a good question, because like Team America and stuff, that's Matt and Trey, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good question. There could be, you know, when I first was reading about that, I guess, and they weren't super specific. They just said they were signed on for, 6 more seasons of South Park, and then, you know, movies. And they didn't necessarily specify that they were South Park movies. So we could get some other goofy Matt and Trey movies. Basketball. Remember that one?
God, dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that movie because it's just so fucking wild. But one of my favorite parts in there is when they're in the locker room naked and they're just knocking everything down with their fucking wieners and shit, dude.
You know, it's funny. What's the shorter character that they call Bitch? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I know who.
So his parents, that actor's parents, because he went to Columbine with one of them, you know, whichever one went to Columbine, then the other one went to like Conifer. But they live in the Columbine area, and his parents still live in that area. And like 6-7 years ago, when I was working at a liquor store right there at Chatfield and Wadsworth, he came in with his parents. That's like the liquor store. I never knew it was his parents. But he came in, it was like right around Thanksgiving. Oh, wow. And I was just sitting there. I was like, not going to call him Bitch. Like, hey, it's Bitch. But I didn't know his name. I was just like, hey, cool. But it was it was pretty funny. His parents still live right around there.
See, South Park is a show that makes me proud to be a Colorado native.
Well, you see so many extra little nuggets in there where someone in California maybe not know. I mean, Casa Bonita, they put Casa Bonita on the map worldwide, you know. It was always like a Colorado gem and for people, but you see, man, they did like the episode of like Funplex, and that was like right down the street for me when I was a kid. I mean, certain little stuff in South Park you see, and it's like, no, that's like one of my childhood memories is what they're talking about there. So it was pretty funny.
Well, I mean, God, what was I gonna say? They were thinking about buying Casa Bonita. There's rumors of Matt and Trey buying Casa Bonita.
Well, so the rumor is that they want to, but the owner says it's not for sale.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
He's like struggling, but he's like, it's not for sale. And Matt and Trey were like, we want to buy it and take care of Casa Bonita the way it should be taken care of.
Yeah, it's a Denver staple. It's a Colorado staple.
They have $900 million new dollars. Could you imagine they just put a little bit of love into Casa Bonita?
Dude, well, they specifically mentioned, like, we'll make the food good.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make it taste good, too.
It was not good there. It's all you can eat at Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
I don't know many people getting that second plate.
Well, I don't know which one it was, if it was Matt or Trey, but they were saying, like, I was already trying to figure out how to make Black Bart's cave bigger.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so cool. Yeah, it's like every time, you know, and I've taken my kids there, and it's been a while since we've been there, obviously pre-COVID, but it just slowly, every time we went there, there was less. The arcade started really turning crappy, too. Like, last time we were there, we were in the arcade, like, only half the stuff was working, and it was just starting to feel, like, really run down in certain areas, and just things that... There's just things closed off that, and even Black Bart's Cave was just kind of feeling a little greasy in there.
Yeah, that place needs a little bit of money and it needs a little bit of love. Yeah. And I feel like definitely Matt and Trey would be able to provide that for sure. I was excited when I heard. I was like, oh shit, I might go to Casa Bonita if they buy it. Yeah, like I would definitely go more.
Maybe they'll make a new offer with their new monies.
They got to throw up an offer that the owner can't refuse, and it probably wouldn't be for that much either.
I mean, they're bankrupt right now.
Yeah, they filed Chapter 9 bankruptcy, and I delivered to Casa Bonita, and when I went to deliver there, like the back kitchen was nothing to run home about. Like it was like, oh wow, I understand why the food is what it is, and it was kind of sad to see. You know, especially because I have a lot of memories going there as a child, and I'm sure you do as well. So it's one of those things where you kind of like look at it and you're like, man, someone does need to buy this and just make it way better than what it is.
Dude, I have like these like whimsical memories, like just these magical, incredible memories that are probably pretty distorted. But just, I remember Casa Bonita going there when I was a kid, and it was just like the coolest freaking place in the world. I mean, the water, people jumping off waterfalls and all this stuff going on in there. And it was just like going to I can't even describe it. It was just like a dream. There. It was the coolest restaurant. And then it had been a long time since I'd been there. And then, you know, I went with my kids and I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, this is a little different. It's still very cool, but different than what I remember. And so many areas were closed off and stuff. And it was just like, it needs a spit shine. And, you know, because that used to be like the birthday party destination.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the whole South Park episode where it's Kyle's birthday it's like, oh, fuck yeah, going to Casa Penida for Kyle's birthday?
Yeah.
And Cartman went as far as convincing Butters that there's some apocalypse happening and hides him in a bomb shelter. Like, that's how much he wanted to go to Casa Penida.
And I don't blame him.
Yeah, because back then, that's what Casa Penida was. Like, oh, shit, we're going to Casa Penida for such and such's birthday? Holy shit.
I definitely had a few birthdays there. I remember I definitely had my 5th grade birthday party there. Probably a few more. I know my brothers had a few of their birthdays there, but it was just such a cool place. Seeing people jump off the freaking waterfall, and I always liked seeing the little show that they'd put on, and then one guy gets like shot and falls into the water, and it's like so cool. I always wanted to jump. That's funny in the South Park episode. They're like, well, you lost all your friends, everyone hates you, and you ruined it. Was it worth it? Totally. Like, yeah, you got to jump off the waterfall. Hell yeah.
Dude, South Park, that show captures so many things, and it honestly kind of shows you like the deep meaning behind, you know, why they are making fun of what they're making fun of.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually tells you lessons. It's a lesson guide.
Oh, there's lessons.
There's a lot of lessons in South Park.
Lessons.
Even though like the what they say in it is so fucking outrageous, and what they're making fun of is so outrageous, like everybody and anybody can take something and learn something from that show. You know, because at the end they always do like, you know what I've learned from this, you guys? And then they
usually tie it up in a nice bow, but they just do a really good job showing certain hypocrisies in society and stuff. Like I always love I think it was the Rob Reiner episode where he's like, they're like lying about, you know, making these commercials like anti-smoking and like, smoking cigarettes is bad, but this guy's like eating himself to death too, and he's like, no, we have to stop them because it's really bad for, you know. And it's just like that. I mean, that's classic South Park. Is just like, I mean, they're just really good at kind of showing our society as a whole, and I think it'll be like kind of a little time machine for people in like 100 years to go back and watch these and see like the problems that we were having in our society now. And it's like, this is, you know, and at least be able to show that, hey, there were people that could see both sides and even laugh.
Yeah. Dude, one of my favorite episodes is when they're making fun of Caitlyn Jenner. Because everyone forgot the fact that she killed somebody with her fucking car. Yeah. And I love how in almost every episode that Caitlyn Jenner is featured in South Park, she's saying, buckle up, buckaroos, and just speeds off and fucking runs.
Dude, when they introduced Caitlyn Jenner, that was pretty outrageous. Like their portrayal of her.
Yeah, dude.
That. But yeah, and then I think she like kills Butter, or she's got like a dead body like hanging on the car or something like that. Like, yeah, I mean they could be pretty blunt at times about these things, and it was like, yeah, people do forget she killed someone with her car.
Well, one of their later seasons, the episode started off with a school shooting and how they're just
I remember that. I remember watching that. It's like,
well, in the episode they just carry on with class.
They're just you just hear the pops in the background, and they're just like just working.
Yeah. And then the police come rushing in, and she's still like over the police, like, and then kids, you add the variable, blah 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 blah, and there's like SWAT team in there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it was. Like, it was what they were portraying is like it's happening too much to where we're just getting, it's becoming a normal thing now.
Desensitized. Yeah, I mean, you think about the Columbine shooting. It was insane. I mean, people all over the world were following this, you know, story and remember it. But now, you know, I'll be reading an article and it'll talk about a shooting. I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, you don't hear anything about it anymore.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember this shooting or this shooting or this shooting. And it's like, man, 20 years ago something like that happened. It'd be, you know, international news. And now, you know, now people just watch it and like, okay, just give me the body count and let's, you know, move on.
Dude, that's, you know what I've noticed is like Colorado is like the starting ground for fucked up shit. Even though it is badass to live here and this is a badass state, everybody's moving here from everywhere. But Colorado like kind of starts off these don't want to say trends, but we were the first ones to have a school shooting, and then we had the Aurora movie theater shooting, like these big shootings that are nation.
Oh yeah,
they're national.
You go out of town, you're like on vacation or something. I tell people it's easier to just say Denver, but I live in Littleton. From Littleton. They're like, where are you from? Like Littleton. They're like, oh,
yeah, Columbine.
It's like it was 20 years ago. Did you go to Columbine? No, I was in middle school, but we're close by. Did you know anybody? It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I knew somebody that knew somebody. It was when we were at church, and I went to church with Nate Brigman and Ty Brigman. Mm-hmm. You know them,
yeah.
And their father's a pastor, but we were in youth group, and one of the girls, one of her friends, was shot and killed in the Columbine shooting. But I knew somebody that was shot and killed in the Aurora movie theater.
Yeah, shooting. I think I had closer ties to that, to the movie theater than Columbine. But
well, I had super close ties. Let me tell you what happened, okay? Is we went and saw the premiere for Batman that night. Mm-hmm. I went with Bo Burbank, and the girl that I was seeing at the time, she had asked me, she's like, hey, do you want to go to the Aurora Theater with Jansen and John and go see the new Batman? I was like, fuck that. We're going to Highlands Ranch. You want to know why? It's because they had the automatic soda machines that gave you the flavors.
Oh,
that was my reasoning.
Like you're talking about AMC 24?
Yeah, the AMC 24.
That's always been kind of my go-to.
Yeah, so that was my whole reasoning. I was like, no, I don't want to go to the Aurora Theater because it's fucking ghetto, and I want a vanilla root beer. Okay, so we go to the AMC, and we get out of the movie. The movie's done. We get out, and I've missed like 30 phone calls.
Yeah,
and my girlfriend at the time, she missed 30, and so did Bo. And so we're like, what the fuck is going on? Why is my phone off the hook? And they were all like random numbers that I'd never seen before in my life. Uh-huh. And so we're like, okay, well, let's figure this out. And then I got text messages from my mom. She's like, are you okay? Because she knew I was at went and saw Batman that night too. She's like, are you okay? Were you at Aurora? I'm like, what? No. She's like, well, I heard a bomb went off. And nobody really knew at this point. No one knew.
Yeah, there's all this, which is pretty typical with these things. Like, there's all this like misinformation out there too early on. But, yeah.
So we're trying to figure things out, and we found out, it was at the Aurora Theater. John and God damn it, what was her name? Jansen.
I was gonna say, I almost said it.
Yeah,
I almost remember.
John and Jansen were at that theater, and so we're like, okay, fuck, let's figure this out. So we finally got a hold of Jansen, and she's hysterical. She's like, I don't know where John is. We were in the theater when the shooting happened. She's like, I didn't think it was real.
Theater,
they were in the theater that the shooting happened. And so we're like, oh fuck, where are you? Where are you at? We'll come to you. So we went, and she was at the Children's Hospital in Aurora, off Colfax there. And so we see her. She's a blonde woman, and we get in, and her hair is cherry blonde. Mm-hmm. There's blood in her hair, and she got shrapnel wounds from gunshots, like on her belly and her arm.
Jesus,
and shit.
Man.
Yeah. So we're like, well, where's John? And she's like, I don't know where John is. John was on top of me, and he went limp. And I crawled out of there, and I ran out the back and hid in a dumpster. And we're like, oh, fuck. Like, it got real quick. I was up that whole night. And so we were trying to find John, and we tried searching for him that whole day. We didn't have any news or anything. Uh-huh. And we didn't find out till the next day that he was one of the victims of the shooting.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. And we were supposed to hang out that next weekend.
Damn, dude. Well, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some shit. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we almost went.
Yeah.
We almost went.
And I know Jared Sigabart and them, I think they tried to go that night, and it was like sold out, but I knew a lot. For me, I kind of had like a different side, like saw a different side to it, because I was in Delaware. I was on the East Coast when it happened. So, we were 2 hours ahead. I was already asleep when it happened, but waking up in the morning and just seeing like all the national news, being like, oh, there's a shooting in Aurora. It was pretty wild seeing everything. I mean, kind of how it unfolded, and you're in a whole other state watching your home state, go through this. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone that close that got like that. I mean, that's pretty awful, man.
Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy to live through it, even though I didn't live through the actual shooting. I had to live through the victim of the shooting.
Yeah.
And it was rough. It was rough seeing someone that you knew go through that, I didn't really know John that well. But I liked him. He was a cool dude. And I was like, let's fucking hang out, dude.
Yeah.
Because he was dating Jansen, and Jansen was my girlfriend's friend. So it was like natural, like, oh, let's hang out. Let's go do shit, let's be friends. And then he's just not there anymore, dude. It kind of makes you realize how fragile life is. It's just
fucking movies.
Yeah,
can't even go to the movies anymore.
I go to the movies.
I go to the movies, but like
I look at for exits. I look at all my
think about
exits.
it, and that's just crazy. It's like, man, it's crazy that you have to think about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in a crowded place, and you're like, okay, where's the exits?
Yeah,
it's like, man, that's pretty crazy.
It's real.
And the kids, my kids, they do. I mean, I don't think they actually tell the kids that this is a school shooting drill, but they do these drills that are pretty much specifically aimed at what to do if there's a shooting.
Mm-hmm.
They have locking doors and all this stuff. So it was like, man, we did like a fire drill every once in a while when I was a kid, but that was it. And now these kids at school doing these shooting drills.
Yeah, dude, we shouldn't have to be doing shooting drills.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy to think that we have to do that. And I see like these little videos on, Facebooks or whatever of them showing like these anti-break-in door thingies, where it makes it almost impossible to break through this door. And I'm like, it's crazy that we have to invent something like that.
Well, and that just reminded me, that was one of the things I just read, and it was like a week later, but that new Purge movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
The Forever Purge, or I don't know which one it was, but there was a shooting at one of the showings of that. Like the opening night, there was a shooting at a movie theater and some people died. I didn't hear anything about it. Anything until like a week later. It was just like barely came across my news feed about it. It was like, that's how desensitized we are to this. Is like, if that would have happened, 20 years ago, everyone would have heard about it. It's like, there was another movie theater shooting during, another like kind of violent movie to begin with. Although I love the Purge movies. I got to say that's kind of my.
I don't like the Purge movies.
No?
I don't like them because they're too real. It's a too of a real thing. I like scary movies if they're based off something that's not real, like a haunted story.
Something you're like, oh, well,
that's
that
bullshit.
Can't happen.
But like a movie like Saw, I hate Saw because I'm like, if I can't imagine being stuck in a situation where I have to like cut my own fucking finger off or cut my tongue out of my fucking face,
cut your arm off, or like your head gets smushed in a trap.
Yeah, dude. Like you got X amount of time to unlock this key, but that to this necklace that's around your fucking neck, and if you don't unlock it in time, your fucking head explodes off your shoulders. Like the amount of pressure and anxiety, like you would fuck up. It's almost impossible to focus unless like you're a trained Navy SEAL, someone who's ready for a situation like that.
I'd be fucked. I mean, I'm really shitty at riddles anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those, I'm taking a little.
You want a little bit more cream?
Just a little bit more.
For people that are watching, this show is not sponsored by, but I'm sharing with you all anyways. Colorado Cream, go get it at all liquor stores, almost all liquor stores in Colorado. I see it at most liquor stores in Colorado.
You know what I like about it too is it doesn't leave this like really coffee flavored aftertaste. Because that's kind of what turns me off of coffee in general. Is it's more of a mocha aftertaste that just serenades your taste buds.
Just wait that he's gonna have his pumpkin spice, I'm sure, because I asked him, I was like, how well did your pumpkin spice do? He's like, it fucking killed, dude.
It's
like,
pumpkin spice.
It's pumpkin spice. Every white girl's wet dream. It's dude. God.
I don't understand the pumpkin spice craze. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just not big on it, the flavor, but I've never understood why it exploded.
You know what? I think it exploded because of the memes that were made about it. You know, and it showed like basically you see it. It's like basic bitch starter pack. Okay,
you got like the Uggs and this.
You got the Uggs. You have the scarves. You've got the fucking pumpkin spice anything. You know, I saw a meme. It was like the basic bitch starter pack.
Yeah.
You know, but they made all these pumpkin spice memes. It started off with the memes, and then everybody. I mean, even my own sister, she will admit, like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't like it, but I am a bit of a basic bitch because I like pumpkin spice. Yeah. She admits it, you know.
And I think that's okay. I've never been able to get on board with the pumpkin spice.
Neither have I. I never understood what the whole big deal about it was.
And I'm not that into like the Halloween beer, or I get whatever they want to call it, the fall beer. You know, I like me some Christmas ales, but I feel like the fall seasonal beers and stuff, I've never found one that I really like.
If you had to pick a beer to go on a deserted island with, what are you going to pick?
So is this deserted island like hot? Is it like tropical?
Yeah, you're on a fucking island.
Are we in the Antarctic?
You're on an island.
Okay. Yeah, probably something light, fruity. Probably just, you know, a sour ale.
Like a Linen Lugels?
I don't know if I could do the Leinenkugels.
Leinenkugels?
Maybe the summer shandy would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to have a little summer to it. Definitely like a citrus or something.
Yeah. I
hope I don't ever get stranded on an island, though.
Yeah, I mean, if I had all the tools that I needed, I would not mind being on a stranded island. It would be kind of cool. If I could build myself a nice little hut.
Unlimited power supply.
I don't even need power supply.
I need Netflix. I need all my streaming.
I think I could live without that. Because you think about it. When you go camping, you forget that any of that
camping.
Exists.
I don't fucking hate camping.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Okay, well, all right. You know, I'm going to have to agree with you when I think about it. Because the last camping trip I was on was fucking god-awful. Brad, if you're watching, I'm sorry, buddy. But it was the bane of my fucking existence.
I've heard some stories about the camping trip.
Let me tell you something. It was fucking hot as balls, windy as fuck. Okay, dude, I got the worst sunburn when I was there, and I never really burn. I mean, I burn a little bit, but not like that. And it was just so unbearably windy the whole fucking time.
I hate the wind.
And then the bugs, dude. There were so many fucking gnats. You could not cook at night. You could not do anything at night. You couldn't even shine a little light as bright as the fucking as this, because all the fucking bugs would just come swarming in like thousands of gnats, dude.
You guys are by the water too, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. And you just inhale gnats. You're just inhaling gnats the whole fucking time. I have a video of it that I'll show you after this, where I turned on the light. No, I just turned on the light. It wasn't even that bright of a light, and just fucking swarms of gnats around it. And I told everybody at the beginning when we were talking about this, I said, let's get an Airbnb. It'd be awesome. We'll go do lake shit during the day, and we'd come back, make dinner on a grill or inside the house. We can shower. We'll have AC, lay in a bed, take a shit on a toilet. Dude, I had to dig a hole and shit in the hole, and I fucking hated it. And it was hot as fuck out. There's gnats flying everywhere around me, and I'm shitting like a fucking caveman in a hole.
That's like prison camp stuff. Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah. And I've known this from a fairly young age when, my friends and I would go camping, and I could do one night. I could camp for one night, and you party all night, and then you wake up really early and leave.
Yeah. I'll never camp like that again, ever, unless I'm going up to like St. Mary's Alice, where I know it's like green and lush.
Yeah, but
beautiful.
Still, like I could camp with an RV. I'd be the guy, if I had the money, I'd be the guy that shows up with basically a house, like all the refrigerator, dish network, everything I need on there.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm at the age where I'm going to spend all that effort and be uncomfortable up there camping. Just go to Vegas for 2 nights.
Listen, I was for that. I was for anything else. And Brad, it was his birthday. He wanted to do what he wanted to do,
and I get it. He likes to rough it. You know, he likes that. And
well, he lives in L.A. And his excuse was like, "Dude, I live in L.A. I just want to go out in nature and rough it." And I was like, "Okay, well, I live in a city too, okay, and I don't want to rough it."
Have you been to nature? Nature sucks.
Nature is horrible. Why do you think we invented all this shit? Because we hate fucking nature, man.
Nature, man.
Yeah,
I need that.
My house is nature. It just depends on how you look at it, okay? Mm-hmm. This is part of nature because we're part of nature. This house is part of nature.
Hanging out in my backyard's like I get plenty of nature that way. Like I know people that like going on hikes. I'm like, I don't need a hike.
No.
I'll just park. I get my steps in. I just park far away at the grocery store.
Yeah. Never again. I agree with you.
Let's do Vegas.
No, I'm agree, dude. Vegas would be fun, like a mancation.
Yeah, say like a nice hotel.
Yeah, I'd be willing to. Yeah, the older I get, the more I appreciate like the finer things, like the.
We're at that age where we need to start like having those kinds of trips that are like fun, and you get home and you're like, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now you get home and like, oh my god, I can't believe we survived. Yeah. Although Vegas you could still have that going to Vegas, but.
Let me tell you, I have a classic hangover story about Vegas, okay? And it's with our good friend Tyler. Did you hear the story? Have you heard about the story?
I know there's the only real Vegas story. I mean, I know some Vegas stories that we won't talk about, but I remember Ty and all them drove out there for a concert, like when they were seniors. It was like him or something, and they fell asleep at the wheel on the way home. Luckily, they were all okay, but it's like it's considered the deadliest highway in America because it's just so straight and long, and so many people fall asleep at the wheel, and they fell victim.
Yeah, I heard that story, but I have a different one. Classic hangover story. The first night I show up to Vegas, me and Bo came separately. Everybody else was there. Tyler. Wait, who did I come with? I think I came. No, I didn't come with Bo because they drove out there. Who did I fly out with? I think I flew out with Tyler. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyways, so we get there, and the very first thing is our buddy, I won't say names, but a friend of ours, the first thing he does is give me shrooms. He's like, take these. And I'm like, okay. It's going to be like that, huh?
It's going to be one of those.
I just ate a handful of magical mushrooms, which was great, by the way. Because we went to Fremont Street, and they have light shows every half hour.
I've been to Vegas plenty of times. Never been to Fremont. Never been to the older strip.
Fremont is where it's at in Vegas.
That's what I'm understanding.
That's where the party is. People like us, that's where they go party. But the bougie people that have money, they go on the main strip. But people that, middle class, we go to Fremont
Just barely getting to Vegas,
We're
on a
spending
budget.
Everything we have to go to Vegas, we're going to Fremont Street. Yeah. But it worked out great for me taking those shrooms because right when we got onto Fremont Street, I was starting to peak, and they were having the Beatles play, and it was like a psychedelic light show above me, and I ate like a big handful, like over an eighth, I just ate them, and like I just sat there and I watched the light show, and I was blown away. I was like, oh god, this is great.
I love the Beatles.
Yeah, and it was so euphoric, and I was so happy. Like I was just like, this is great, man. I don't need anything else in my life except this.
This is it. I mean, I was always intrigued. I think Vegas could be the place for that. I think when I was like in high school and stuff, I was always really big on that movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And watching Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro crawl their way through Vegas.
Benichito?
Benichito. But that might be a little intense.
It was intense, but that's not even the best part. I'm not even at the best part yet. So the first night there, we partied harder than all the other nights, okay? We went hard. So we all got tired eventually. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody went to bed except for Tyler, okay? Tyler was like, you know what? I'm going to stay down here. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Turn my computer back on. But Tyler was like, you know what? I'm going to stay down here at the craps table. I'm going to play some craps.
Craps, huh?
Or no, blackjack. It was blackjack. Sorry. Excuse me. So we leave him, or Brad left him. Brad was the last one to hang out with him. I was already up in the room passed out, but Brad was the last one there with him. Well, Brad leaves. So Tyler's all alone. And if anybody knows Tyler, like we do. He's a man of self entertainment.
Yeah.
He can self entertain pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't need people. Okay. So the fact that we were all gone didn't bother him in the least bit. Well, he meets this girl, and apparently she gave him Xanax, and he was drinking with Xanax. Okay.
God.
And he blacked out. He says he doesn't remember anything.
As you do.
Okay. And then Tyler wakes up the next morning in a hospital like 15 miles outside of town.
I've not heard this story.
Okay. So that was a Quentin Tarantino thing. Let's go back. Okay. Let's go back to the morning that we all woke up and Ty wasn't there. Ty wasn't there.
Ty wasn't there.
Tyler wasn't there.
Oh, God.
So we're like, oh, well, he's probably out gambling or something and woke up early. He's doing his own thing. Yeah. We'll find him later. We go have breakfast, nice buffet breakfast. 11 o'clock comes around. Like, where the fuck is Ty? He hasn't tried calling any of us. So we were getting a little concerned, that it's later in the day. Like, he hasn't tried to call us yet. And so we started searching everywhere, all around the lobby, in the hotel room. No sign of Ty. 2 o'clock comes around in the afternoon. We're like, okay, it's getting real. We need to start calling places. We called jails. We called fucking hospitals. We called everywhere, like all the emergency services around town. We're trying to find Ty.
I'm missing my friend.
Yeah, and could not find him at all. And so we're like, okay, let's get back to the hotel room and let's really try to figure this out, because we were all kind of like worried. Okay, we get up to the hotel room. Tyler is passed out on the bed. He showed up there. And let me tell you something. He smelled like literal shit. Like,
really pooped his pants.
No, I don't think he shit his pants. He might have, though. I mean, I don't know. But it's literally smelled like, I got close and I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? Like, holy shit, you smell bad. You smell really bad, man.
Chewing on poop nuggets.
Like, you might be dead for reals on the bed.
It smells like rotting flesh.
So we're like, and we couldn't wake him up. We were like shaking him, like, Ty, wake up. But he was breathing. Like, we felt his pulse and like he was breathing.
Turn him on his back.
Yeah, but he was super red and sweaty.
Or maybe turn him on your stomach. I don't know.
No, he was on his stomach. He was like, I have a picture of it that I'll show you of what we did to him. But he was like laying on his stomach, face down. And I was like, well, I mean, we at least know he's safe now. He's breathing. He's here. But we all want to go to the pool.
Put a water bottle by the bed.
Well, here's what we did. Okay. We're like, well, we want to make sure he knows where to find us. So with a pen, we wrote on his fucking forehead, Tyler, we're at the pool. Call us when you wake up. But backwards. So when he read it in the mirror, he would be able to read it.
Yeah, that's very thoughtful.
But he was so sweaty and greasy, I couldn't just write on it with the ballpoint. So I took the ballpoint out and kind of dabbed it on his forehead.
Accidentally tattoo him.
Yeah, it was kind of like a tattoo, but
it's the poke tattoo, the stick and poke.
Yeah, but he woke up as we were doing it. We're like, hey, dude. And he's like, what happened? I blacked out and I woke up in the hospital and I walked back. He walked 15 miles back. Vegas, bro.
It's Vegas, baby. Good God. Yeah, I hadn't heard that one.
It's a good story.
So it's been a long time since I've been to Vegas, but we went. I remember with my college hockey team, we went, and when we got back, we agreed, like, yeah, we'll never make that trip again with the team. And then 2 years later, we went back, and then afterwards, like, oh yeah, we said we weren't gonna go again, and that was why.
Yeah, something tells me though that Tyler would be a lot more appropriate. I think we all would be. I would want to go, but I would want to get back to bed in a good amount of time. But I want to go see more shows. If I go to Vegas again, I'm not looking to get fucked up and go gamble.
Oh, I love me some gambling. I got to do a little gambling.
Well, you obviously are going to do a little bit of gambling if you're in Vegas. Yeah, you're going to gamble. That comes without saying. But what I'm saying is, like, I want to go experience some of the shit that Vegas has. Yeah. Like, I want to go to the Pawn Stars shop.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I want to go to their little shop and check out the cool shit they got there. I want to go shoot their machine guns that they have. There's like a machine gun range where you can go pay to shoot any gun you want, basically.
I want to go just be a witness at an Elvis-themed wedding. just be one of the witnesses. You know, they got to have a witness for the wedding. Just one wedding. Guys, let me do this. Let me pop in this chapel real quick.
We'll pay you $10.
$10. I'll witness that. But I think for me, it was like, like going to Vegas 15 years ago, I just didn't have the money and I didn't have the self-control. So the budget I did have, I would gamble away. And I'd be like, oh, now I'm in Vegas for 2 more nights and I'm broke.
Yeah. Dude, the first time I went to Vegas, which was the time that we lost Tyler, I brought $3,000 with me for a few days. Went through all of it. Yeah, $3,000.
I've done that the first, not quite $3,000, but I remember the first night gambling, playing blackjack, slowly learning, and I was with my friend who's kind of teaching me, the blackjack etiquette and stuff like that. And it was maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night. We were both up maybe $100 or something. It had paid for my dinner, feeling good, having a beer. Haven't really spent any of my own money in it because I have profits from gambling. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is great. Like, this is awesome. I'm gonna go home from Vegas, not spending any money. And then fast forward 3 hours later, and I'm like, I gambled it all. It's gone. Yeah. This is real life. This really happens in Vegas. All my money's gone.
It's so easy to lose money so fast.
So fast.
And you think you can get it back, dude. Yeah. It's addicting.
It is.
That's why because I know how addicting it is. And being a little Native American, man, it's super addicting for me.
See, and I think for me in Vegas, and especially once you are drinking and stuff, the money just goes quicker. And yeah, you always have that, like, I can win it back kind of mentality, but I don't gamble much. It's usually just if I'm in somewhere where gambling happens to be legal. You're driving. We were in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we were like north, staying at a hotel, and it was like a casino and stuff like that. But I generally feel like I have better self-control now. But yeah, it's crazy the kind of trouble you could get in Vegas if you're not careful. I remember we were in Vegas for like 3-4 nights, and I had like $20 to my name to last like 3 nights. Just McDonald's cheeseburgers. I remember, thank God, that McDonald's. We were staying, I think it was like the Imperial, or maybe it was the Hard Rock Cafe. I don't think the Imperial's there anymore, but we were close to like a McDonald's, and I think I just had like a cheeseburger for lunch and a cheeseburger for dinner for the next few nights, and that was it. And it was like, yeah.
Thank God.
Real life. That's real life. You're broke. Thank God I didn't have like a deed to a house to go gamble away.
Dude. Yeah, I know when I gamble, nowadays I take a certain amount out and I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm okay with losing. Mm-hmm. And once I'm done with it, great. Yeah. But if I have a little bit extra, also great. Yeah. I go there with an expected amount to lose. But if I go to Blackhawk these days, I'll gamble a little bit, but I'm going for the buffet. The Ameristar buffet.
That's really what I want. And I've maybe been up to Blackhawk twice in my life. Seriously. Really? I just never go. Johnny goes every once in a while, and like sometimes I have like a hankering for it. I'm just sitting there, like, don't have the kids this weekend. I was like, I kind of want to go up there, and then it just doesn't.
Let me know.
Doesn't happen.
Let me know. I'll go up to Blackhawk with you.
I'm leaving the credit cards at home. Yeah. Leave everything, but just an allotted amount of
just
cash.
$100.
Just
$100.
300. 3-4.
Just 300.
I've been practicing. I've been practicing blackjack a lot, and I've always really liked roulette too. And one of the last times my dad really hates gambling. Like, he just thinks it's dumb and it's a waste of time. And we were in Delaware. There's this place called the Dover Downs. They do like NASCAR races there and stuff, but it's also a casino. And he was like, I was like, we went for the buffet, which was great. And then I was like, I'm gonna go gamble for 20 minutes or so. And he just laughs at me. He's like, oh, your money's gonna be gone. And as a joke, he gave me $20, and he's like, go put this down on red for me or whatever, and watch you lose this money too. I came back like half hour later, and he's like looking at me like, see, and I gave him $100 bill, and I had $100 bill in my pocket, and he's like, oh,
yeah,
okay. I was like, see, every once in a while you do okay. And blackjack or roulette seems to be, and roulette is like pure chance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways you can.
Well, it's all pure chance.
It is all pure chance, but roulette is like one of those games where you really don't have an edge on anything. There's no real way. I mean, there's ways you can make it last and, make it fun, or just blow all your cash, immediately. But yeah, I like that day.
What's your game then? What's your go-to game?
I would say roulette.
Roulette?
Yeah.
Mine's craps, dude.
See, I don't
love
know how to play craps.
You don't know, dude?
No,
craps is
I really
fun.
don't.
Craps is.
It looks fun. Everyone's cheering and cheering for you, and I'm like, it looks fun.
You have the highest chances of winning at craps than any other game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In Vegas, yeah. Any other like casino game, craps is your highest chances of winning.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just rolling a dice, but there's a lot of specific ways that you can bet that can benefit you. Okay, so if you on your first roll, if you roll a 7 or 11, it's an automatic win. Okay, if you roll 1 or 12, it's an automatic lose. Any number in between that, then that's where the peg goes, or the little placer goes onto. So like, let's say I roll 6.
Uh-huh.
Well, they'll put the roller on the 6. Okay, so you could bet on 6, and you can make all these other bets. So if you roll a 6, you win that roll. And if you roll a 7 or 11, you lose. See what I'm saying?
Kinda.
And if you roll 2s or 12, if you bet on it, you can win big money.
And you're betting, like, not just the person who's rolling the die.
Mm-hmm.
You can also be a side, like someone on the side betting on what they're gonna roll.
Yeah. So like, let's say I'm the roller, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna put money on like 3-1 odds, something, whatever. And if I roll that for you, you win that. And you could, dude, the first time I ever played craps, I had a half-hour roll, and I won this dude like fucking like $2,000.
See, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But can you bet against him? Can you say like,
no,
I bet?
You don't bet against anybody.
Okay,
it's a community thing.
It's all a positive.
Everybody's because if you're rolling hot, everybody's betting on you, and everybody's cheering you on. Like, come on, buddy, come on, let's see that roll, And dude, I had a half-hour roll one time where I was just like hitting it every single time, and some dude, I won him like $2,000. He's like, dude, hey man, you won me $2,000. Here you go, and he gave me like $100 in chips. I was like, fuck yeah,
you get the tip.
Yeah, but I won like $800 or $750 plus his 100 put me at $850. And that's how much I won.
They have craps up in blackjack or
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk.
Yeah, they have craps up in Black Hawk. But what was funny is like I was by myself, but we were there with our group of friends. So Brad was there, Jared, Tyler, Bo, all these people were up there. But I veered off, and I was playing craps with just all these strangers. None of our friends were there. And I remember Brad coming up. And he's like, hey, buddy, how you doing? I was like, get the fuck out of here, Brad. Because I didn't want to ruin the mojo,
You gotta keep.
Yeah.
Well, when you're on a heater, you don't change things. You drink. You stick to your drink. You know, whatever you're drinking. Yeah. I know about the heaters.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go up there, and you're gonna have to show me the ropes with crabs because that's fun. But it took me a long time to get okay at blackjack and just understand the etiquette. Because I remember when I was like 21, going to Vegas and like kind of understanding blackjack, but not the subtle nuances of like, well, you don't hit on this number because you're going to take the next person, you're going to you could piss people off around you playing, and granted, it's not illegal to do that, but there's a kind of a gentleman's way of playing this game. And even with roulette, I remember going with my brother and having to, show my brother a couple things because, you don't grab the money, you don't touch anything until they, take the dealie off and all that. And like, there's just those little things you got to learn. And like, that can like turn some people off. Like, well, I don't want to gamble because like I got yelled at my first time. And
fucking follow the rules.
Yeah.
That's all.
You got to learn. And that's what I've been doing. I've been catching up, and I'm confident in blackjack and roulette. I've always been like kind of knew the deal, but craps
is fun.
Sounds
dude.
fun.
Yeah. And I felt bad after I yelled at Brad, but like as soon as I yelled, I'm like, get the fuck out of Brad. He's like, okay. And like, just, but yeah, there's etiquette in craps too. Like you can't like grab the dice and take them over the edge of the table. They have to be within sight. Your hand has to be within sight the whole time, because you could switch out and put a load of dice in there, which I get. The people are always going to try to find ways to cheat. you know. But it's a lot of fun. It's addicting, especially when you're on a heater and you're just rolling left and right, dude. And dude, I spent zero. I brought $20 up with me because I was pretty broke at the time. Yeah. This was when our early 20s, so I didn't have a whole lot of money. But I brought up $20 and I walked out of there with like over 800, and I was drunk as fuck because they kept bringing me beers as I was rolling. Like I was there for like 2 hours and I had like 10 beers. Yeah. So I was shit faced and I had $800. I was like, this is great.
Well, those are the stories you want.
Yeah.
You know that, but yeah, I mean they're not necessarily rare, but too often people start counting on that. Like, okay, that happened that one time. That's going to happen every time, and that's when you start losing money and losing it.
Well, the next time I went up to Blackhawk, I was like, it's going to happen again because it has to happen. If it happened the first time around, it's going to happen again. Mm-hmm. I lost $100. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was very lucky. I will never take it for granted again, though. You know, but it was a lot of fun winning all that money in such a short amount of time. I was there for a couple hours. I didn't hang out with friends for like 2 hours. And by the time I got together with them, they were all ready to like hit the bed because they were already kind of fucked up, but they had spent all their money. And you're like, I had money to spend. I was like, let's do it. Yeah, I'm rich, bitch.
I'm rich with free money.
Yeah, dude.
There's nothing better than winning money, and there's nothing shittier than losing your money gambling.
Yeah. Well, one of the last times that was in Las Vegas, I was playing a machine, right? It was Wheel of Fortune. Mm-hmm. And I was down to my last 22. My last 20 of money that I was just spending for gambling. Okay. Mm-hmm. That was it. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do maximum bets, maximum lines, every fucking roll. And the last bit of money I had, the last roll I had, I won $500. And I was like, no shit. Took that money out and I was done.
You're like, I'm done.
Done gambling for the rest of the time.
Oh, I remember when I lost my money and I had $20 left for the rest of the trip. I remember I had like $100, $200 I'd set aside for gambling. I blasted through that by midnight, and I was like, okay, I need to stop. And I was like, let me just see if I can get back up a little bit. And then that's where start dipping into funds that aren't for that. And it's like, oh, people really do fuck their lives up gambling in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, people will blow they'll put their mortgage on there, you know, or whatever, their house.
When you see people with like scratch tickets too, like I think I'll buy a scratch ticket if like I'm somewhere that already sells them, and I notice there's like every once in a while, do you ever just have like $1 or $2 just sitting in your wallet forever? Like I don't use cash that much, so I'll just have like $1 sitting in there forever. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to use this for. I don't know where it came from. It's just sitting there. And so I'll use a scratch ticket for that. But God, I was in the gas station like 2 weeks ago waiting in line to pay for like an energy drink or something. And this lady's got like the $10, $20 scratchers. And she's just scratching at the table, seeing if she won, and then cashing them back in. I'm like, can I just like pay for can I get around this clearly addicted to gambling woman and just pay for my energy drink? And she's just like hogging the whole thing, like, no, okay, cash that. Let me get 10 more. Scratch. It's like this is insane. Yeah. But I think when you're at a 7-Eleven at like 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, scratching the $20 scratchers, I think it's maybe time to reflect a bit.
Yeah, I know someone, you know them too, who has, I think, a little bit of addiction to scratch tickets because I saw them with scratch tickets all the fucking time. Never won anything, and they're already broke and shouldn't be spending their money on fucking scratcher tickets anyways. It's always the people that are buying scratch tickets that are in rough situations with money anyways, and they think they can get it, you know.
And they, you know, I know people that have won pretty good money off of that, but I don't know. I'm just not at that level where I'm spending $50 on scratchers. Yeah. I think the most I've ever spent, I think maybe I bought a $10 one time, but I really like those bingo scratchers because it takes a long time.
You know what? I don't have time for scratchers like that.
Oh, I love them. I do them over like the course of like 3 days, and then I'll also buy like $1 scratcher every once in a while and just not scratch it for a long time. It's like the Always Sunny, where they're like, but it represents hope. If you don't scratch it, it's like you're still hopeful when you have this. So you could just not scratch it and just leave it for a while. You're like, I could be rich, but I don't know. But I'm not going to ruin it yet.
Yeah.
But I like the bingo ones or the crossword puzzles because you go and just scratch a little bit every once in a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like scratcher tickets. I think they're a waste of money. You end up spending more money than you actually get. Oh, unless you get super lucky. I've
definitely spent more money than I've won. I think I've won like $80 when I was first 18, 19, able to buy those. I won like $80 one time, and I've never won anything like that since.
There's this YouTuber called Mr. Beast, and he bought like $1 million in scratchers.
I've seen, and they go through and scratch them, and they won like.
They only won like
20% back.
No, he won back. He spent $1 million and won back $800. So he ended up being in the $200,000 deficit. But still, he lost $200,000 trying to prove a point.
I've seen videos where people go out and buy an insane amount and scratch them. And I remember one time for Christmas, a long time ago, someone gave me 21 $1 scratchers for Christmas. I won $1 out of 21 tickets. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably around the time where I was like, fuck these stupid tickets. I didn't even spend money on it. And I was like, out of 21, I thought I was going to be rich. I was like, there's a good one in there. There's got to be $1 out of 21.
It's fucking stupid. It's a waste of money. Kind
of want to go buy one.
You can't get your money. Now, can't get your fucking money, dude. Don't try it.
I think I got let's see. I bet you I got $1 hanging out in my wallet here right now. Look at this. Look, $1.
Go get it, dude.
Look at that. I swear to God, I've always got $1 in my wallet. I'm going to get a scratcher on the way home. I'll let you know how it goes.
Always in the hunt for money. You know who is in the hunt for money right now? Scarlett Johansson.
So what's going on with that? So I know she's saying it's a breach of contract that they released Black Widow on Disney Plus.
Well, here's the deal. Is Marvel or Disney promised to pay her X amount of money for the theater release, okay?
Okay.
They didn't live up to that expectation. They basically are trying to get out of it so they don't have to pay her as much money. So they owe her some money, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. I mean, that movie hasn't come out. It was supposed to come out last year. It never did. And she was supposed to get X amount of money. Didn't get it. Because they released it on the streaming platform. Because you can go watch it on the streaming platform, and that doesn't play out as well. That doesn't pay out as well as going to the movies does.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is they owe her some fucking money, and a lot of times when this happens with actors, when they, sue the company or the producing company that they went through with the movie. And they try to sue them, especially Disney, they get blacklisted. So I hope it doesn't happen with Scarlett Johansson. I highly doubt it will. But they owe her some fucking money. She deserves it. I mean, she was one of the main characters in the MCU. She's been in the fucking MCU since Iron Man 2. Mm-hmm. She's been in it for almost a decade as well.
Well, and she strikes me as someone, and I don't know her personally, but she just doesn't strike me as someone that would do this if it wasn't called for. Like if she didn't really get screwed out of some money that was in there. It just, sometimes you hear these stories about really rich people suing a company or something, and you're like, come on, and I'm sure a lot of times those are rightfully so as well, but this case, and I don't know all the details to it, it just seems like if someone like her is suing, it's probably for good reason.
Yeah. No, it's 100% for a good reason. I mean, say what you want. Actors are paid the amount of money because they are captivating you. They're artists, okay? And if they can convince you that they're that person, that they're this superhero, like Scarlett Johansson portrays in Black Widow. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Black Widow yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
it's $30 right now.
Listen, okay, but it's badass.
I know.
Okay, it's a badass movie. But what I'm trying to get at is, you can't go act like that. I can't go act like that. 99% of the world cannot act like Scarlett Johansson. Mm-hmm. That's why she makes the big bucks, okay?
Yeah.
That's why she gets paid millions of dollars, is because she can convince all of us that she is Black Widow. that she is this superhero. Okay, and it is, you know. Dude, my dog is snoring like a motherfucker.
It almost sounds like a stomach growling, but I'm like, that's a dog.
Yeah, that's my dog
snoring.
But people will say like actors are 100% overpaid. I'm like, okay, well you go try to act. Like, you want that money? You go get that money then.
And how do you say they're overpaid? Like, okay, then how much should they make? And if a movie makes that much money or is expected to make that much money, and they're the lead role or whatever, like, it's just economics. I mean, it's like, that's just how the world works. Like, if you're, same with professional athletes and everything, this money's not coming out of nowhere. Like, oh, they're overpaid. That money could go help someone else or something. It's like, they made this. It's their art. And, you know, who are you to say they're overpaid for it? If it makes $100 million and you know, this actor got $20 million to act in it, that, you know, and they were the lead role or whatever, that sounds about right to me. I mean, it's any business model.
Yeah. They're getting paid to captivate millions. Okay, I'm not getting paid shit, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And typically the people that say, oh, they're overpaid, like, have no idea what it actually takes to make a movie
or what it takes to be an actor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh, that looks easy to me.
It's the same with people who say shit about comedians getting paid the amount of money they do. They're like, oh, I can go on stage and just talk.
That's insane, because I think about comedians and I have an appreciation for that more than a lot of other stuff, because I'm just like, dude, they just go on stage and just make you laugh. There's no one else is there. They're just able to conjure up some stories, maybe true, maybe false, whatever. Their personality's there, but they can go on stage with just a microphone and make you laugh.
Yeah.
And that's pretty freaking cool to me.
But that's what they're getting paid to do. It's an art, dude. Acting, comedian, whatever. It's a fucking art, okay? So the fact that she isn't getting her money, it makes me upset, because she fucking worked for that money. She's been a part of the MCU for that fucking long. Give her the fucking money. She's not in it anymore. Give her the fucking money that she deserves.
And like I said, someone like her just strikes me as, you know, I don't know, not going after petty money or anything like that. It was like, it sounds like she was actually kind of screwed out of some serious bucks.
Yeah, she was. I mean, look, some actors like Tom Cruise, he gets paid the big bucks, but he also does his own stunts,
which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker,
I wish he wasn't such a weird guy though.
Yeah, he is a weird guy. He is a weird guy, but you got to give it to him for how he acts, you know. And same with Brad Pitt. These A-listers.
You know who I really like? Val Kilmer.
You like Val Kilmer?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just every movie he's in, like, you see like Tombstone where he's Doc Holliday and stuff. Like, Val Kilmer like takes on these roles like pretty serious. I mean, aside from maybe Batman Forever, you know, when he had a stint, but Val Kilmer's a pretty cool dude.
Well, there's a lot of
weird, and he's freaking weird. Like Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, that was a cool movie.
Yeah,
I like that movie. Well, there's a lot of actors who take the role seriously, super seriously, like Christian Bale.
Yeah,
he takes role super seriously.
Well, that's when you get into like actors and actresses losing or gaining tons of weight, you know, getting in crazy shape. You know,
and Christian Bale's one of those actors, dude. I mean, dude, have you seen The Machinist?
No, is that the one where he gets super skinny for? Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've seen it. No, I haven't seen it, but I've seen like pictures of him, and I mean, he's like, oh, I'm good on that. I'm gonna stick with that. But he's he looks deathly ill,
dude. He definitely got that skinny.
Yeah,
which blows my mind, because then a few years later he was Batman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then people will complain like, oh, he makes too much fucking money. But like, dude, he's putting his body through some serious shit.
Crazy shit.
Like, to go from that skinny to Batman and then go fat back to skinny, like, that's so hard on your body. And he does it intentionally too.
Yeah, he was like downright fat in something kind of recently. I saw.
He played like Dick Cheney, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah,
he played Dick Cheney.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny seeing some of that kind of a more humorous side is Rob. I can't think of his last name, but he plays Mac on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know, he's one of the creators of Always Sunny, and his character goes through these body changes throughout the series, and at one point he gains a ton of weight. Like he's legit. I mean, he calls it packing on mass, but he's a big boy. And then within a season or two, he's like ripped, like Marvel comic ripped, which is funny because his trainer was actually the same trainer as like Chris Hemsworth or someone. But even he says it on there, you know, he's like, it was hell getting into shit. You know, obviously it's easy packing on the weight, but getting into that kind of shape, getting into Marvel superhero shape is there's no fun. You're not having any fun with food. With, you know, you're not, that's for real.
Dude, you know, Chris Hemsworth, when you talk about him, he put this picture on his Instagram where up top he's like super shredded. Like he is fucking shredded up here, but his legs are like skinny.
Skipping leg day.
And then, dude, there's so many comments like, damn, Thor, you even skipped leg day, bro.
Can't skip leg day.
You can't skip leg day, man.
No one likes leg day. You can't skip it. That's why I just skip it all.
I got beefy legs, dude.
I just skip it all, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Dude,
proportionate.
My legs are so thick, dude. My legs are so thick.
Damn,
they're strong, dude.
Thick?
I'm a strong, thick boy.
Thick boy.
I'm just a little fat. You know, it's okay.
It's like fat.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, these actors put their bodies and their minds into some crazy twisted states, you know, body-wise and mentally. Like last weekend we were talking about Joaquin Phoenix. Just a Joker. Like
he's a wild one. I mean,
but he was also he got that skinny. He was super skinny in the Joker, and he had to get crazy for that role. Like I could not in my wild, like even if I tried to, if a gun was being pointed at my head, I could not act as well as that guy acts.
Joaquin's incredible. Yeah. But what was the one he did like 10 years ago or so where like people really didn't know if he was for real or not, and he was like becoming a rapper?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, he even did a real show and had that meltdown on stage and all that stuff. And it was like, there was a minute there where he's walking around with that beard and people like, no one like, is he serious? Is Joaquin for reals right now? And it ended up kind of just being a method, you know, he's a method actor. But
it was a troll.
Yeah.
It was the biggest and best troll of all time because everyone thought he was for real, but it was just purely for a mockumentary. It was a troll.
Yeah, because he was acting like that everywhere. I mean, you just see him on the street, you know, day to day, and he was, from what I understand, in character the entire time.
Yeah, dude. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. There's this clip of Joaquin getting ready, preparing his mind for being the Joker. And he's just sitting there focusing, and one of the crewmen was like, "Are we going to get on with this?" And he's like, "Will you shut the fuck up?"
I've seen that. Yeah.
Like where he snaps on the guy, and like rightfully so, man. You try to act like a fucking crazed maniac, like the Joker. Like you got to get in the right mindset to be able to convince. And that's what I appreciate about actors and the amount of money they get paid is because they're taking the time to like put themselves in that mental state to meditate and bring that out in them to convince you, the audience. Like they're doing it for you. They're doing all this crazy shit for you, for the movies. You know what I mean? Well, that's why they get paid the big bucks.
Another good example of that is Jim Carrey when he played Andy Kaufman. And there's like a whole documentary on it and like how unbearable Jim Carrey was during the filming of that because he just never lost and he was just insane the entire time. I remember I saw a documentary about it too, and you know all the other cast members are talking like, I mean, so many of them almost quit and all this stuff. I mean, it was insane, but you go back and look at that movie, what is it, Man on the Moon or whatever, I mean, you think you're seeing Andy Kaufman. I mean, I didn't grow up with Andy Kaufman, but he doesn't seem like Jim Carrey to me in that movie.
Yeah. No, it takes a lot of work, man.
Yeah, to go from Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber to Andy Kaufman, you know, I mean, actors like that can go from one extreme to another, like, and you believe it. Because there's some actors out there that I'm like, I just can't take them seriously, or I just don't, you know, they'll play a role and I just don't see it. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're not talented, but they're just not able. Some of these actresses just draw you in, and you just don't recognize them from other movies.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, that's not the same person.
No. Yeah, no, you're right, dude. And, yeah, with that being said, I think Scarlett Johansson needs to get her fucking money.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. It's her last movie in the MCU.
Is
as
it?
far as we know.
Yeah.
I mean, with this whole multiverse thing, like, they could easily bring her back. Also in the comics, like I've said before, her and Thanos work together to get out of the Soul Realm together. So that could happen. You know, who the fuck knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
You know, but regardless, she needs to get paid. But after all this, I doubt we'll see her in the MCU again.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
sad,
Like,
too.
they're going to blacklist her,
Yeah.
you know, from being in any movies. But she's fine. She'll be fine. Dude, she's Scarlett fucking Johansson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think some people you could blacklist a little bit easier than others, but I mean, certainly you could push her out of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But
she's
not going away.
But being in the MCU, no matter who you are, if you are in the MCU, you're guaranteed work after that.
Yeah.
Because you made it in the MCU. That's a fucking given, dude.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, aside from the MCU, the new Suicide Squad movie is out.
So
and
I have some
I'm
questions.
looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. Like I
I
said,
have not seen it yet.
I wanted to watch it last night. Just, it was a little too late. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this one. But so this new Suicide Squad, I mean, I see it, you know, Harley Quinn, it's I can't think of her name right now.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. So is it the same universe? Or what what exactly, because I'm seeing all these other guys and I'm like, I don't know. And I mean, I'm certainly don't know as much about DC, but I'm like I'm seeing some shark dude.
So in Birds of Prey, they kind of make fun of the fact that Suicide Squad was made, okay? Basically shitting on Jared Leto's Joker. Jared Leto. How the fuck you say his name? I don't know how the fuck you say his name.
Is it Leto?
Is it Leto?
I mean, that's how
Leto?
I say it. I don't know.
Anyways. But they basically shit on his Joker. Okay, so he's still a part of that in a sense, okay? So I don't know if this new Suicide Squad is just starting from fresh or if it is a new Suicide Squad as like a sequel from the one that she was in before.
Yeah.
Because the only original character is Margot Robbie.
And that's, you know, that was my observation was I don't see any of the same, but obviously, you know, that's Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely a different story. And it's done great. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 96% on
Really?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Cool.
So it's a Tom Gunn movie. You know, he's a great director. I mean, he did Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
You know? So he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's a great story. And when I first saw it, the trailer for it, I was like, oh yeah, it's already going to be 100% better than Jared Leto's Suicide Squad, because that one fucking sucked. It sucked donkey dick, dude.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I wish the Christian Bale Batman, and I mean obviously that you can't do Heath Ledger as Joker, but that was the best in my opinion. And you know what? I gotta say, we talked about this like months ago, and you're like, give Robert Pattinson a chance,
right?
And I was like, I only associated him with Twilight. And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work for me, even though I've never seen Twilight. I just had a kind of a stigma about him. Since then, I've probably seen 5-6 movies with him in it. He's incredible. I still haven't seen haven't seen Lighthouse.
Oh, dude, you gotta see Lighthouse.
I feel like I gotta be in like the right mood for it. But God, I saw like High Life, where he's, you know, they're like going into a black hole, like slowly go, and like that movie was just this like mind fuck, you know. But and then I just saw, what did I watch the other night? The King on Netflix, and he's I can't even remember his character. He's such a good actor. He is so good, and like I gotta say, yeah, when we talked that one time, I was just like, nah, I just kind of brushed him off, and now I'm like, okay, I bet you he could do Batman pretty well. I bet you he could do Batman justice. So I'm a fan now of Robert Pattinson. I like him. I mean, he seems so versatile with his acting, and again, another one of those actors that is able to just draw, you know, you believe every character he is. But God, it was the movie The King, and it was about like King Henry or something, but he's in it. And he's a bad guy, but he just, like, you hate him immediately because he's so good. I mean, he draws you into this. You hate his character, but you're like, he's a good actor.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm super excited for him to be Batman. And he has that bad rap just the same as Leonardo DiCaprio did. Because his big movie was Titanic.
Yeah.
And everybody shit on him because he's a handsome man.
He was a pretty boy. I mean, he was like that teen bop type.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he really pulled himself out of that with, I mean, just his acting and I mean, I love Leo, dude. I'm not gonna lie, he kills it,
dude. The Revenant, Django,
Wolves of Wall Street,
dude, and his most recent one, fucking the Quentin Tarantino film.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was freaking great too.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude. I think Robert Pattinson. I think we're gonna see some really good shit.
Yeah, I'm totally sold on him. And now, like, when I see a movie that he's in, and that's why when I watched The King, and I was kind of looking at the actors, and it was Robert Pattinson, I was like, okay, I'll watch this. But like, yeah, if you haven't seen High Life, it's on.
I've seen High Life. Oh, it's a
I just keep hearing that, like, dead.
Dude, do yourself a favor and go watch The Lighthouse tonight.
I don't know. I think I want to watch Suicide Squad tonight. Okay. But like, I've watched the preview, like the trailer that you can watch on Amazon Prime for Lighthouse.
Yeah, we watched it. We watched it together.
And I've like realized, I'm like, dude, this is like more fucked up movie than I realized. But yeah, it's always there staring at. And I really like William Dafoe as well. I've always really, really enjoyed his acting.
Dude, rumor has it that William Dafoe's dick is pretty big. He's got a pretty sweet dick.
He's got a hog.
Yeah, dude, that's what I heard.
Got a sweet dick.
You got a pretty cool dick, dude.
But yeah, man, I think I meant to tell you that like a week ago, and I've since then have watched The King with Robert Pattinson in it again. And is it Patterson or
Pattinson?
Pattinson, yeah. So it's I have yet to see a movie with him in it where I was like, I don't fucking like this.
Yeah, the only movies that he's like that is Twilight.
And again, I hadn't seen it. I'm just guilty by association for me. It was just like I know what that's about, and like stick to your vampire love stories.
Yeah.
But no, I stand corrected.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brad was actually the one who convinced me.
Really?
Because when he said Robert Pattinson is going to be Batman, I was like, I don't know. And then he's like, just go watch some of his other movies, and you'll see. And so I was like, okay, I will. And I watched some of his other movies, and I was like, wow, dude, this guy can act his dick off. Like, this dude is a fucking classically trained actor.
He's a star.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for him to play Batman, even though he's going to be a skinnier Batman. But this Batman's going to be more detective-focused Batman. You know, he's going to use his detective skills more, which is the Batman that I've been kind of hoping for, just because Batman is the world's greatest detective. And it looks way darker than all the other Batmans. Have we saw the preview together, haven't we?
I've definitely seen the preview. Some of the Batmans for me, like, I do like the Val Kilmer Batman movies because those are the ones that I kind of grew up with. You know, my parents always really liked the Batman with, Michael Keaton, and I enjoyed the, like, Batman Returns was always...
Worst Batman, George Clooney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, when did he take... His bat suit had nipples.
Did have nipples. But again, he was a bad Batman, but I liked that era. It was just this kind of like, I don't know, it was so 90s, it was 90s, right? I mean, late 90s, you know, and who was it? Who was Two-Face then? God, I could picture his face. I can't think of it right. Can't think of his name, but I don't know. I like that. And even, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. It was this funny version of Batman that almost kind of brings you back to the originals where it was comical in a lot of ways, like spandex wearing stuff. But I've enjoyed most Batmans. I can't stand Ben Affleck.
Dude, you don't like Ben Affleck? Okay, let me tell you something. Let me explain my thoughts on that, because I was the same as far as Ben Affleck's Batman goes, okay? Have you seen the Zack Snyder's cut?
No.
Okay. With that being said, go watch the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Okay? And your thoughts of Batman, Ben Affleck being Batman, will change.
Okay.
I can guarantee it.
But I still need to watch. I still have, if I'm going to watch the Snyder cut, I got to go back. I'd be lost if I went in and watched it right now.
I mean, I would say if you're going to go back, all you would have to do, I mean, you've seen Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I would say just go watch Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
Go watch that. Okay. And then you'll be caught up.
Okay.
They don't have that many movies, dude.
And I know they don't, but have you
seen Man of Steel yet?
No.
Dude. Okay.
The Superman is I don't think I've seen any of it. I mean, I've seen, I think I did see Batman vs. Superman, but I wasn't like glued to it. Okay. I think I saw it with some friends or something, and we weren't.
Well, Batman vs. Superman was not that great. It wasn't. Okay. They were fighting Doomsday, and Doomsday is like a Avengers-esque type of movie, and they rushed into it. Okay. Mm-hmm. There was no like leading up to Doomsday with all that, okay? But Man of Steel was actually really good. I actually really enjoyed Man of Steel a lot. And I don't think it gets enough credit. I don't think Henry Cavill gets enough credit for being Superman. I think he was a pretty good Superman, from what I saw in Man of Steel, okay? And I think they could have done a lot with his character. But Batman versus Superman was not that great. The first Justice League was not that great, and because they brought in what's his fucking face, the guy who did the first Avengers. Let me find out. Hey Google, who was the director for the first Avengers movie? Okay, it definitely was not fucking John Johnson. Okay. Anyways, I can't think of his Josh Whedon, or fuck, I can't think of it. But it was the director from the very first Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. They brought him in to do Justice League. But he fucking botched it. He basically took all of Zack Snyder's shit and was like, fuck that. Because Zack Snyder left filming Justice League because his daughter committed suicide.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he left. He left it because he had some personal shit to deal with. And he got a lot of shit for that. Like, oh, you're just going to leave because your daughter died? Like, you guys are fucking assholes.
I know, right?
Okay?
The
like,
fucking comic book crowd is like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But like, you go try losing a fucking daughter to suicide.
Yeah.
You piece
and then being like,
shit.
oh, yeah, like, I'm going to keep working on this fucking stupid movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to put that aside. My daughter just killed herself. I'm going to put that aside and, make this movie for you guys.
Yeah, your daughter died, but come on, there's bigger things.
Yeah. People have
this is bigger than you.
Yeah, people have no fucking compassion, dude.
No. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately
with,
not.
With that kind of stuff, not a lot of leeway.
No.
With that. But, okay, well, I'm going to...
Yeah, so...
I'll give it a shot. I'll give Ben a shot again.
Go watch the Zack Snyder cut. It's good. It's actually really good. It got me like, wow, man, I kind of want to see Ben Affleck being Batman more, but I want Zack Snyder to direct it.
I've had a bigger appreciation for just Zack Snyder in general, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but this week I just watched Watchmen.
Really?
I've never knew the story. I watched the HBO Watchmen, which was incredible. It's like one of my favorite shows. And again, never followed the comic or anything like that, but just that show on HBO, The Watchmen, was one of my most favorite shows ever. It was just the way it was done, and I didn't know anything about any of these guys and what's his name, Dr. Manhattan or whatever his name is, and
he's like a Superman-esque character.
Yeah, and I
OP
just didn't know, and so as I'm watching this show on HBO, I'm slowly kind of educating myself on the story in general, and then this week I finally realized that the movie The Watchmen was directed by Zack Snyder, and I was like, okay, like, I guess I'm going to watch this. It's a long movie. I'm going to watch it. And it was incredible. It was really, really good. And I'm finally kind of seeing the Zack Snyder style and understanding it. And I really enjoy it. And I'm looking back at other movies he did. And I'm like, I like that one. Like that one. Okay. I think I like Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. No, he's a badass dude.
Mm-hmm.
He makes good shit. That's what I'm saying. I know you hate Ben Affleck's Batman. And I did too.
I just don't think I like
enjoy
Ben Affleck. I
get it, dude.
I get it with just
It's because he's smashing J-Lo. I get it, man, and you're a little jelly. It's fine.
I like J-Lo, yeah.
Yeah, and you're a little bit jealous that Ben Affleck gets to hit that shit again.
Could be that simple.
Yeah, yeah.
You just pull me apart. Dude, right there.
There's this picture from now where Ben Affleck is like patting J-Lo's booty, which, I mean, he's Ben Affleck and that's J-Lo's booty. Of course you would pat that shit. But and then there's a picture from like a decade ago or from whenever they had met where it's the same picture basically. And it's like Ben and J-Lo then, Ben and J-Lo now. Like they weren't together. They've been together that whole time. It's so funny how they got back together.
Wasn't who was Nick Cannon? Was Nick Cannon married to J-Lo or was it Mariah Carey?
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was married to Mariah Carey.
Not to get too off subject, but that was always kind of a weird for me.
Yeah, Nick Cannon seems like a little guy.
Just a child.
Mariah Carey seems like this strong, big woman.
Yeah.
Like, not like fat, but just like a big, like muscular,
like, and
tall.
Respectable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nick Cannon's just kind of a goober.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
Yeah. Like a super powerful Amazon woman with this little dweeb
just
of a dude.
Incredibly successful. And, I mean, Nick Cannon, I guess he's successful too. I just
how tall is Nick Cannon, do you think? I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Google.
I'm going to say 5'8".
Hey, Google. How tall is Nick Cannon? 6 foot. Okay.
Well,
shit.
Right.
That's pretty tall.
Okay.
He's a lot taller than me.
Yep.
Fucking A, dude.
Wish I was 6 feet. I don't even know what I would do being tall.
I'm happy with my height.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I can hide easier.
I can like get in small cars and like not grunt.
Yeah.
Like look silly. Yeah.
I feel like being tall would be cumbersome at some times. You know, like as far as like, especially like all the activities that I do, like riding dirt bikes. Like, I feel like I'm already too tall to ride dirt bikes because I hit my head on fucking tree branches a lot, riding through the trails and shit.
My basement's got really low ceilings. It's like finished, but it's got really low ceilings. I'm like, man, tall person would not do well. I'm glad I have like my, the Oompa Loompa. It's like an Oompa Loompa hallway in my basement. I'm like some of my friends just wouldn't do well.
Like Jared.
And I wasn't gonna name any names.
Jared's a tall dude.
Yeah, you gotta be like, Jared, watch out for those power lines up there, dude.
Dude, I'm 5'8", 5'7" now.
5'7", yeah. I'm 5'7".
Because I'm shrinking, dude. I used to be 5'10", and then I shrunk down to like 5'8". I'm freaking already.
Drink more water or something.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know what the fuck to do. But like I explain to people, like I'm just like a short little stocky gorilla man. You know, I'm strong. Because like, dude, the shit that I'm doing is very physical. I'm lifting heavy shit and like pulling and just all that shit. So I'm like a strong little gorilla. You know,
it's good. You got a good center. You got a good center of gravity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always wonder what it would be like. Because when I go to a concert or something, the tallest person in the world always manages to stand right in front of me.
I fucking hate that shit, dude.
I always wonder what it's like. I'm like, what is it like being tall? Just like standing above everybody. Just like,
I'm sure you get used to it after a while, but I'm sure it gets annoying too. Because trying to find shit that fits you, I'm sure is difficult. You know, like a shirt that will cover your whole fucking torso. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm sure that's difficult, but I have a difficult time finding shirts that are wide enough.
I was going to say, yeah, I was like, do the mechanics still work? Because I just have to make sure it covers my stomach.
Yeah, dude, like, that's my thing, is I got to make sure my shit's wide enough.
It's got to be wide now. Yeah, I need a wide berth in my shirts. And like I'm at the weight now where like I'll have a new shirt and like I won't even have it on yet. I'll just like start putting my arms through. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be too small. This isn't gonna work,
dude. Like that picture I just showed you, that was just from a couple years ago, and I weighed 30 pounds less. And that shirt that I was wearing was a medium, and I fit in it good.
Oh, I was
good looking in it.
Yeah, I was an adult and wore mediums at one point.
Yeah,
grown adult, done growing, wore mediums.
Yeah.
And I still have some of those shirts in my, you always keep a couple in the back. Like one day I'm going to wear you again.
I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, I should probably keep this because I'll probably fit in it again.
It's a sweet shirt. And yeah, one of these days I'm going to cut down on all that ramen and pizza and I'm going to fit back in that shirt.
Dude, it never happens.
It never
happens. Yeah, I know better now Because when I go shopping, I'm like, I better buy large, or maybe I haven't had to buy extra large yet. Thank God.
I'm at XL.
You're at XL now?
An XL mainly because I can shrink my shirts like without even thinking about it. I'm pretty bad at laundry, and I'm slowly learning, but I still just manage to always shrink the shirts. So I'm like, okay, but the XLs have like kind of the sleeves and stuff that feel too big. It's like you don't. I'm a medium living in an XL body.
See, I don't want to say I'm at that point yet. Thank God.
But there's always the yet.
If I keep my habits, but listen, I quit smoking. Okay, and I've gained some weight since then.
I've heard that happens.
Yeah, your appetite definitely grows. So you're just smashing food because you're trying to fill that
dark hole.
Void. But like smoking cigarettes it's a suppressant, of hunger. So whenever I would smoke a lot of cigarettes, I didn't feel hungry. But now that I'm not smoking, I'm like, I gotta eat, and like I can definitely feel it in my stomach. Like my stomach hurts because I'm just like fucking shoving food in there. So I gotta like definitely find like a different balance for that kind of thing.
It is. It's tough finding the balance. Like I love food, and people who call themselves foodies always kind of drive me crazy. I'm like, yeah, everyone's a food. Like we all have to eat food. It's not a hobby, but I typically make food a hobby for me. I like cooking good food, but
I went on a date with this girl in Portland, and she said she was a professional foodie.
What does that mean?
Well, what it meant is I wasn't going to be asking her on another fucking date. That's what it meant.
It sounds expensive.
Listen, dude, I hate how some people describe themselves to be, when it's not even like a real thing. Like a foodie. Yeah. Everybody's a fucking foodie.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's a foodie. Like, we all are going to die very quickly if we aren't foodies.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? You like good food? I don't know anyone who's like, yeah, I really like to seek out just shitty food that tastes awful.
You know what I am? Steven?
What are you?
I'm a watery.
I'm just really into, water and surviving.
You know what? I don't drink tap water anymore. So I am kind of a water
I'm kind of
guy.
Yeah, kind of,
I'm kind of weird with water.
That pinky up with the water, but I've gravitated away from the tap water unless it's 3 a.m. and I'm waking up for the first time after like a bender, and it's like I need water, and you're just under the sink. But yeah, I got a Brita filter.
Dude, honestly, I only drink Evian and Fiji water. Like I'm kind of bougie with my water, but honestly, dude, like the water that you get from the tap is not that good. There's so much bullshit in it.
And everywhere around here, it all has a different taste. Yeah. Like it's got a taste. Well,
just recently, Gina got an alert on her phone saying like, "Oh, the water in Inglewood is bad." They
sent it out to everyone, but it was actually a pretty small area. Mm-hmm. But it was like an Amber Alert. Mm-hmm. Sent out.
There's E. coli. They tested positive for E. coli in one small section. And dude, everybody panicked because all the water just was gone, dude.
Yeah, I got that, and I was thinking about it at first, and then I kind of read into it and saw that I wasn't even anywhere near where it was. But yeah, that was an interesting thing to get. But for me, I've really evolved. I'm thinking about I was drinking a Smart Water the other day, and it's just really overpriced filtered water, and I'm thinking back to when I was a kid, drinking out of the gutters. Just dude, as a kid, just
like the fucking water sprinklers and shit too.
Just drink. I mean, I would straight up with my brothers. It'd be like a hot day, and there'd be just water running down the gutter in the street, and we'd just freaking drink out of the goddamn gutters, dude. And I was like, and I'm thinking now, there's motor oil, on my driveway. There's water will wash down, and there's fertilizer and motor oil, dude. And just dog shit falling down there, and here I am, just this little 8-year-old kid huddled over I'm like, oh my god,
dude.
Now I'm drinking a Smart Water. I'm like, I've come a long way. I'm really proud of myself.
Dude, I remember, when I was a kid, I would just put my whole mouth over a sprinkler, just
the hose, just But to be fair, I was never one of those weird kids that at the drinking fountain would put my whole mouth over. There was always that kid that would wrap
I never
their
did that.
whole lips around.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like It's kind of like that one episode in Parks and Recreation where they were trying to figure out a way to keep people from not shoving their whole mouths. So this is what their solution was: is they put a little cage around it, and Andy was the test subject. And Andy just like was like trying to like figure it out, and he just like monkeys this fucking little cage off and puts his mouth over it again.
But there's definitely kids in my school. You'd be behind them at the water fountain, they'd just be like,
yeah,
like those are the people with really healthy immune systems right now, I bet, or they're dead.
Well, I mean, I think I have a healthy immune system just from being a trash truck driver, because I had to fucking inhale and a lot of nasty shit flew in my mouth, dude.
Try,
like literal shit. Probably.
Let me raise you one. Try having 2 kids in preschool at once. I mean,
yeah.
Every week, you don't even know. I mean, through the wintertime, you don't know. It's just this blur of getting sick or getting over getting sick, and you're just always in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get these sicknesses that I've never even heard of. Like this, this is a thing. Like, yeah, it's real common in preschool, and kids get over it real fast, but adults, it'll fucking hit you like a hammer.
Oh, dude, kids are fucking cesspools. And Gina, she's always fucking sick because of her fucking kids that she teaches. They're fucking savages, dude. They don't even think about it, dude. They'll go fucking play on the playground, and then
they're like wiping boogers on each other. Yeah, and it's, I'm not gonna lie. Even more recently, I learned that my youngest, and we broke this habit, but my youngest was in a habit of wiping her boogers on the clean towels in the linen closet.
On the clean ones?
She'd just have a big old freaking goober, and I guess I'm like, well, I guess you're not eating it, so that's good. But then I realized, like, oh, you're picking your nose, you're getting a fat old goober, and then you go to the linen closet and find a towel and just bloop, like not a Kleenex, not a piece of toilet paper, just those freaking nice towels.
Dude, kids are savages.
They're freaking gross, dude. It is really, really gross having kids. And as they get older, it gets, we've kind of passed that, but every once in a while something will happen. I'll be like, that's fucking gross.
Dude, kids are fucking savages, dude. That's kind of like why I do want to have kids. I do want to have kids because it's that natural instinct, like, I gotta spread my genes in case I die. At least my genes will live on. It's that natural. I think that's that natural thing that's happening in my brain right now.
Yeah.
Because the older I get, the more I'm like, I want to have kids more. It's crazy because a few years ago I didn't want to have fucking kids at all. But as I get older, me and Gina are kind of like, we should fucking probably have some kids.
I'm always happy. I'm telling all my friends to have kids. Part of me is like, I love being around little kids. It's fun. It keeps you agile and on your toes, but also I just want to see some of my friends like go through the shit I went through.
Well, see, and that's the thing though, is you did it alone. Yeah. You're a single dad. Yeah. Okay. Which is not a very common thing. You don't see too many single dads raising their children on their own by themselves.
We got a tight community. We got some serious Facebook groups.
Is there some Facebook groups for that?
There's some hilarious, very, very funny Facebook groups I'm in, and it's like, and now I'm older and kind of don't, my kids are older and I'm not going through these, but some young dads or whatever will post something like, is this normal? And the kids like pooping, just like decided to just start pooping in a corner or something. It's like, I remember that.
That's so fucking funny. Yeah, dude. I mean, for a woman, it's more common for women.
Yeah, definitely.
Because dudes are pieces of shit. I mean, I am a victim of that. My father left me when I was 2, my real father. So my mom was a single mom until she met my stepdad, who I consider as my real father.
And I think that's even cooler, or finding the type of, guys that step up like that.
But my biological father was that piece of shit that would leave. So it's a more common thing. So women are a lot stronger in that sense. Like they have that motherly instinct. I'm not saying that your baby's mama is like that.
No, and she's, not to get too deep in it. I mean, she's around. She didn't completely abandon him, but I took on the brunt of everything and still do. But, it's easier as they get older. But yeah, I mean, it's less common. I'm working on this now.
Okay.
And if you're not
Dude, go for it.
I'm ready for it. But it is less common. But when you start finding these like community, like it's funny because you meet other people that are like it seems rare, but then you find this like trove of people that have gone through exactly all the same shit. And sometimes it's sad because sometimes I'm hearing about people becoming single parents for the first time and they have this hope that, you know, something's going to get better. You know, it's like,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
As far as like your situation with the ladies go, has it helped your situation to obtain women, the fact being a single father? Like when you go on dates with women or meet new women, you say, I'm a single dad, I've raised these kids on my own. Like, does that benefit you a little bit?
I think generally people feel safer around me, you know, and that can come with people saying weird stuff to me because they feel more comfortable, like I'm some nurturer or something. But I have found over time that it just attracts weirder people. And maybe I'm more skeptical too. I'm like, who would want to step in on the, you know, with this once you see, you know, what's going on? It's like, why would you want to hop in on this?
Well, like let's take like you take your daughters to gymnastics, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm sure at least a few of those women in there are single mothers as well.
So is it a comforting thing for them knowing like, oh, this man knows how I'm feeling because he's going the same thing as I am? So can you connect on that level? I can't really think of a lot of connections I've made with other single parents. And unfortunately, over the years of being a single parent, I have more moms that are still married.
Right.
That like,
well, that doesn't come till the 40s.
Yeah, but yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's they see like they're disappointed in their husband, how their husband's a, you know, not as good of a father or whatever it is in them, but it's kind of like the grass is greener, but it's not, you know. But I've had more instances where it's like a married woman with like a family and everything,
and they want to get with you.
I don't think it's like serious like that, but it's like they kind of dabble. You start getting these late night texts and it starts getting, you know, it starts getting into this gray area, and I see it for what it is. And I'm like, you just think it's like, you know, you want,
I get it, dude.
Yeah. It's like they want their husband to be more involved or whatever it is. But I think if anything, it's just been more of an escape, like a fantasy for them. But I don't connect very often with someone who's also a single parent.
I will agree with you on the idea of like women that are in relationships, and it could be the same for dudes too. But my personal experience is like I used to work for AAA. So I would go to house calls and fix women's batteries and change their tires and everything. And they're usually older women, late 40s, early 50s, that would fucking hit on me like hard. And, you know, I would see pictures sometimes of them, and some of these older ladies were pretty banging.
Yeah.
You know, for their age. You know, they're very attractive older ladies for sure, but their husbands just let themselves go. Yeah. Like just overweight and just like fucking lazy. It looks like they just look like lazy pieces of shit, you know? And their wives are like, you know, keeping up with their bodies and just, you know, staying healthy. So I'm sure like, I don't want to like say anything wrong here, but it just kind of seems like older women's sex drives are a lot higher because they're not getting the attention that they need. So
yeah, and you
know, but for what I'm saying is my personal experiences with older women is they've been very attracted to me, you know. But it wasn't just the fact that, you know, I'm me. It's just like I'm a younger person and that might have more stamina or more testosterone pumping or whatever, you know. But I understand where it's coming from. Like if you're not getting what you need, you kind of want to venture off into something else.
And I don't, and I don't necessarily think that's my case. I mean, there's certainly times where, I'll see, I'll have a questionable conversation with a girl one night, and then 2 days later, they're like posting this like happy family photo with the husband or something like that, and I'm like, well, like, and I would never say anything, but I think for me, it's because I'm not some like cut, rip dude. I think it's just solely like I have some women see a quality in me that they wish that who they're already married to had. And it's not my rock hard abs. It's usually just being more involved with the kids and stuff like that. And dude, but I mean, that's as a single dad of girls, like you got to kind of take on like this, like kind of, side of you where you got to like, you can't let the masculinity get in the way. Sometimes, you got to let your 6-year-old daughter paint freaking toenails and shit, So, they slowly disarm you over time, and just really break down that masculinity. And I think that's really what it gets to, is that some, there's dads out there that have really only had to be the masculine side. And some women are like, I wish I could see a different side of him. But I don't really think there's ever been a time where some married woman's like, oh my God, like Steven's over here just like freaking banging, and here I am married to this fat piece of shit. I was like, dude, I'm not in shape. I think it's typically they see that I'm out like on a school night or whatever with the kids.
No, it could be, they see someone that can provide.
Yeah.
It take it how you want it. We're 98% fucking monkey. Okay, there's always a head monkey that runs the pack, that runs the fucking show. Okay, that's all we are. We're fucking monkeys. So that primal instinct comes out to want to mate with like the strongest male, the one that has more shit going for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but that's just fucking simple science.
Well, it's human nature to want stability and want to know, and not even just, the women want to have stability with a man taking care of them. It's also men wanting women to be able to, take care of them too. Like I think it goes both ways, and it's just, a lot of it's human nature and stuff, and it's built into your medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata.
It's because they have all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Mama says they have all them teeth and no toothbrush.
I love the fact that Gina is as strong as a woman as she is,
and that's what
it's attractive to me. That's why I won't go into detail, but yeah.
No, that's definitely, as I get older, what really catches my eye is just, a woman who just like has their shit together, and has their own life, their own hobbies, and takes care of their life, and could take me or leave me. I wouldn't make, I wouldn't be, if I left, it wouldn't be like, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? And if I stayed, it wouldn't be like this is fucked up. I got to take care of this man baby. But yeah, I think that's, and that's probably pretty common as you get older and you see how hard life is and how hard maintaining a life is. It's more important to find other people that are like, yeah, that person can keep themselves alive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I appreciate about Gina. Like, I can leave her here, or she can go fly off to New York or whatever. I don't have to worry about her. I'm not worried about her in the least bit.
You guys aren't attached at the hip.
Yeah.
And that's how like a healthy relationship should be.
Yeah.
And I haven't always been in those types of relationships.
She has her shit that she goes and does, and I'm cool with it. Go do it. I want you to go do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Go do it. And it's the same way with her. Like, I want to go ride my dirt bike with my boys.
Yeah.
Okay, go ride your dirt bike with your friends. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to play some video games. Great. Whatever. Yeah. And she's right there. She's chilling on the couch. I'm fucking jamming some video games right here. And I still talk to her, like, between, like, matches of Call of Duty or just randomly. Like, we have a good understanding of each other and, like, our hobbies and everything. We keep them separate from each other, so they're special to us. but we still do a lot of things together, but we also do things separately, and we don't worry about each other. You know,
that's just a healthy relationship, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's so weird because it's like, it's so rare, seeing that where, people have their own lives but are still married or in a serious relationship and stuff. So I think that's incredibly important, and that's, all I would want at this point in my life is someone who, makes my life better, but also isn't like is self-reliant and not, a codependent person. And the older you get, the more you're just like, yeah, just people that can live life and take care of themselves is pretty darn cool.
It's fucking sweet, dude.
It's pretty cool.
All my relationships I've been in since, Gina, it was like that, like where I was constantly having to like worry about their shit. And I'm like, it's tiring. You don't want to do it, man. You just want someone that could be independent and take care of their own shit, and you don't have to worry about them, You worry about them in a sense of like safety.
Because
like,
you care.
Yeah, because you care.
But you don't have to worry about their overall, ability to function without you. Yeah. And, me raising kids, it just sounds exhausting being in any type of relationship that's someone's codependent. It's like, look, I already have to take care of 2 little kids and deal with all their stuff. And a lot of times it's fun, but a lot of times it's like, this is work. I'm dealing with their problems. I don't need a grown ass woman in here bringing all these, and all relationships are going to have problems, but I don't need to take on some crazy shit right now. So it's tough. And usually, yeah,
you need I'm trying to think of like the perfect lady for you. Who would be good for you? Who would be good for Stephen Call?
I was thinking, like, what is Christina Ricci up to these days? Like,
dude, Christina Ricci still looks like she did like fucking 20 years ago.
Dude, when I was like 10, I had like a poster of her up in my room. Like, I always just feel like in my life, I'm just waiting for Christina.
Christina Ricci is like an ageless babe, for sure.
Things just haven't lined up yet, but one of these days things are going to line up, and I think her and I are really going to work out.
Here, I want to find a picture of her in 2020, 2021. Right here.
What is she up to? What does she do?
Who knows, dude?
Because I can't think of any movies I've seen her in. What was the last thing? Man, like she was in what, like Black Snake Moan, but she kind of disappeared.
This is Christina Ricci now.
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, daddy like.
She's still a babe, dude.
Yeah.
And she's in her 40s.
No.
Dude, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, let's see. Christina Ricci age.
I thought we were like the same
41 years old.
No way.
Yeah, dude, she's 41.
What the
Yeah, dude. See, and people aren't aging like they did back in the day. There's less stress because we have nice lives.
It's better skin products.
Better skin products, better food. I don't know about better food actually, but less stress for sure. Like you go back to like the 20s and you look at someone that's 40 years old, they look like they're fucking 60.
They're working in the goddamn coal mines.
Yeah, working in the goddamn coal mines, bro. But like, yeah, she's looking good for 41 years old.
My whole life, I was like, you'll always have celebrity crushes and stuff, but Christina Ricci is just through my whole.
Christina Ricci?
I would say
that's
Ricci.
Yours?
Yeah.
Ricci. Is it Ricci or Ricci?
I don't know, because there's Ricci. I know a hockey player's last name is spelled the same way, and it was pronounced Ricci. But then there's the pizza place, and it's Ricci. So I don't know.
So she's your all-time babe, is what you're saying?
Yeah. She just seems like nice and like get along. Like Christina, if you're watching this, like call message me. Like it's cool. Like,
well, I guess
don't be shy.
Just from what I was reading right here, she filed a restraining order against her estranged fiance or husband.
Oh, so some baggage.
So she might be a little bit single here. She's like, I love an overweight man that has 2 kids.
2 kids,
with
you say?
No money.
How much ramen do you eat? Oh, I'm coming.
Perfect.
Coming over right now.
I'm trying to think of who my childhood crush was on. I'm trying to think.
You got to dig deep.
It might have been Shania Twain.
But she's impossible to impress.
That don't impress me much.
I'd be like I'm not worthy. Like, so you're an astronaut. That don't impress her much. So you're a rocket scientist. You're from out of town. That don't impress her much.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. I'm trying to think of a better example, but like I always remember, like, because my dad listened to Shania Twain's albums, and like I remember being a little kid and seeing like one of her album covers with her on it. I'm like, wow, she's so pretty. Shania Twain, she's so pretty. Which is a crazy thing, but if I was gonna say like all time babe from like a movie or series, it's Deanna Troi from Star Trek. Miranda Sirtis.
Okay, so she kind of has the teacher vibes for me.
Miranda Sirtis? Here, let's see.
Right? If it's who I'm thinking of. Again, I'm not super versed in the Star Trek universe, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Let's see, Deanna.
That don't impress me much.
Ba-ba-ba-do.
So, you're Brad Pitt? That didn't even impress her.
Actress. Let's see. I think it's Miranda Sirtis. Yeah, thank God. I got it right. But yeah, this is Miranda Sirtis. She's still a babe these days.
That's Miranda not Sirtis. Who I was thinking of.
Yeah. She's the next generation.
Okay.
You know who was a babe back in the day from Star Trek? It was Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle Nichols, she played Uhura in the original Star Trek.
Maybe that's who. She's blonde?
No, she's a black woman. Here, let's look. Nichelle Nichols. Young. This was Nichelle Nichols back in the day. Dude, she was a babe back in the day.
Yeah, I don't recognize her.
She's well, you have to be a Star Trek fan, I feel like, to really understand. But yeah, dude, she was a babe back in the day. Nichelle Nichols.
Look at all those fake buttons in the background.
No, dude,
there's so much going on those spaceships. They're just let's just light up some Christmas lights.
Yeah, but Christina Ricci is a good one for sure.
I mean, I just feel like I just grew up with her every step of the way. The movies when I was a kid, it was like Casper. I even liked her in Addams Family when she was Wednesday, and then when I got into my late teens, she did Speed Racer, which I'll always love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the actor who plays Speed Racer? Emil Hirsch.
I don't know.
Yeah, Emil. I also like him. He's a good actor. I like a lot of stuff he's in, but
all right. So I want to see them remake Addams Family, okay? But I want Christina Ricci to play Morticia, okay? But I want Rami Malek to play Gomez.
That would be really good.
Dude, look at Rami Malek. Look at Rami Malek.
No, I mean, I could totally see him.
Dude,
yeah.
He would nail.
Who'd be the kids? Who'd be Wednesday?
Rami Malek. Look at that handsome fella.
Who would be Wednesday? Who could do... I just don't know a lot of child actors.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of child actors either, but Christina Ricci and Rami Malek...
she could do Morticia now,
dude,
for sure.
Yeah, she could do Morticia. Rami Malek would be able to nail Gomez Addams.
Oh, that would be
That
awesome.
would be a fucking sweet remake, for sure. You got two badass actors. Rami Malek has proved himself.
Oh, I love her. Yeah,
he's a fucking great actor. In Bohemian Rhapsody, he was very convincing that he was...
Dude, I just watched that again not too long ago. That is just such a freaking good movie.
Yeah, dude. It's a badass movie for sure.
It's a badass movie. But yeah. God, I could totally see it. You know what's funny is they did, they've done the CGI Addams Family movies. There's another one coming out soon. Those were pretty good, but they're just. I showed my oldest the first Addams Family, and it was like really kind of tread the line of appropriateness showing her this, but it was like, okay, this is.
Well,
okay.
we watched it when we were their age too. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think about the stuff I watched when I was my kid's age, and I was just like, good Lord, like some of this stuff is just.
Dude, the rating system was way different back then.
It was way messed up.
It was way different.
Like, even in, like, PG movies, they were still, like, dropping an F-bomb. They got, like, one F-bomb.
Yeah. And
I'm watching these PG movies.
You're rated PG, you get one fuck.
You get one. And, God, I'm watching some of this stuff, and I'm just, like, even, like, Goonies is, like, PG, and I'm, like, watching the Goonies.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Like, what did they just say?
Like, yeah, dude. That's hilarious.
I always tell my kids, I'm like, some of the PG-13 movies when I was a kid would be R. Everything would be a step up.
Dude, it was a different time back then. There are so many movies that were like, wow, I can't believe this is PG.
This was
PG-13.
Straight up a kid. Like some of these Disney movies, literally Disney movies, are like, that wouldn't be a Disney movie now.
Yeah, that doesn't fly.
Doesn't fly. But I still make sure I show most of my kids the classics.
You got to, man. You got to teach them. You got to lead them in the right way. Like the Goonies for sure is a classic.
Yeah. The Goonies, got to show them the Goonies. I told you I just made my kids watch Richie Rich.
Here's something. Speaking of the Goonies and like pirates and shit, why hasn't there been an open world sandbox video game where you're a pirate? Huh? Me and my brother were talking about this the other day.
And you just pillage?
Yeah, you just pillage. You
find other ships.
Yeah.
You find islands.
No. You start with a ship. You're a captain of a small ship. But then as you play the game, you get more experience. You could upgrade your ship. You go dock. You get supplies. You go... And it's a multiplayer game. Like, you could join lobbies.
You find treasure.
You go find treasure. You go plunder ships, you know.
These side quests.
Side quests. All this shit. It'll be like a Grand Theft Auto 5, but pirates.
Red Dead Redemption was a little closer to that. I mean,
okay, but I don't. That's cowboys.
Yeah.
You're a cowboy in Red Dead Redemption. I want to be a goddamn fucking pirate.
I think that would really tap into like my childhood. Like, I want to be a pirate. Yeah. I don't want to be a pilot. That's too much responsibility.
Yeah, no.
A pirate. That would be really cool. Open world pirate. What would they call it?
Dude, pirates.
Fucking pirates.
Just the 7 Seas.
What are the 7 Seas? I was trying to
name... There's the Bering Sea.
The Bering Sea. Can't forget about that. There's Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
I can't think of a lot of seas.
I was trying to think of the oceans, and you know what I always forget about? Because I'm watching all these videos of these people, like, just beefing these really easy questions. Like, name one continent. There's people like London. And it's like, what? What? Come on.
Yeah, they do say silly shit like
really
that.
Really bad, but like, they asked, like, name the 5 oceans. And I got stuck the other night. I was like, okay, the Arctic, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, and then there's the elusive 5th ocean.
Antarctic.
No, there is no Antarctic Ocean. There's the 5th ocean. I know the answer now, but I had to look it up.
Okay,
and I was like...
All right, so we have Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean.
The 5th one, and it has only been like recognized as it's still like the
newest. What is it?
It's still like the newest ocean. I'm gonna build it up, okay? But it was tough, and I've seen the name before, and it tripped me out. And even when I say this, most people are gonna be like, "What?" It's the Southern Ocean. It is.
Oh yeah.
It would be considered like the Antarctic Ocean.
Oh my god, dude!
The Southern Ocean. Because the other night I'm laughing. I'm like, these people are so fucking stupid. You're so stupid. Like, when did World War II end? 1985? You know? It's like, what the fuck? Like, are these kids that stupid? And then they're like, name the 5 oceans, and they named 4. And I'm like, what is the 5th ocean?
You're ready to criticize.
I'm ready to just hammer them, and then I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so some of those they're tricky, you know, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but I mean, you should know what a country is before a continent. 100%. Like London is not a fucking continent. Okay?
London's not a continent.
London is part of Europe, which is a continent. Okay. Yeah. But like the oceans, like I didn't think of it. Like I'm sure a lot of people that are, unless you're super into geography, and would not be able to guess
I'm
that.
pretty good with geography. Like I could bang out the 7 continents real freaking quick. Let's see. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Antarctica, Africa, Australia.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Right there. Yeah. No,
and I felt
great.
good, but then it was like, oh, there are 5 oceans.
Yeah.
And I don't know the 5th one.
Yeah, the Southern Ocean. Wow.
It's the Southern Ocean. It's like right above, just north of Antarctica, the continent.
Well, fuck me. Yeah, that got me. My expertise is more space.
Space is
I'm
cool.
very into space, and I fuck up on some of the facts, but I know the gist of the fact.
How far away is the sun?
99 million miles.
Is it 99 or 93?
93, maybe. I don't know. It's
I only know that from The Office.
It's over 90 million, but not over 100 million.
That's right. It's between 90
it's
and
in between 90
million.
and 100, yeah.
That's good. That checks out. That checks out. That's good. That's good.
How many planets are in our solar system?
Well, I'm still a big fan of Pluto, but I'm going to say 8 because scientifically, apparently Pluto's not tight anymore.
But dude, they say they have discovered, but they haven't found it yet. A planet that's
X.
No, it's not Planet X. It's a super Earth. It's a rocky planet that is 10 times bigger than Earth. That's orbiting in the outer solar system.
I think they've seen. Okay, so here's a good one. Can you name the planets from nearest to furthest to the sun?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus.
Yeah.
And
I think the only thing I would get confused of is Jupiter and Saturn. Which one? But it's Saturn's after Mars, right?
Yeah, Saturn's after Mars.
Yeah,
so
okay.
You got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter.
Is it
Saturn?
Jupiter?
No, it's Saturn. Sorry, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune.
Neptune. Yeah, we didn't hit that one.
Yeah.
Neptune kind of gets left out.
Yeah, Neptune. You don't really hear about it too much.
Is
it Neptune or Uranus? That is in the order.
Neptune's last.
Neptune's last. Okay, good.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't want to give out false information.
God, you're right. We should probably make sure it's candid. Here.
We're gonna have to start doing the letters to the editor.
Let's see, planets in order. It's like one of the first thing that comes up. All right, so, yeah, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
Oh, Jupiter, Saturn.
Yeah, it's Jupiter first. Okay, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, so we did fuck up, but that is a weird one. Jupiter and Saturn, they're so big. They're equal, almost equal in size. They're
just big.
They're big gas giants, dude. Yeah, dude. But I love space so much because it makes me feel insignificant, which humbles me a little bit.
I get like dizzy. You get like dizzy thinking about.
Dude, yeah, and we're so worried about our stupid, mundane lives here. That's why I'm okay with the idea of death, because my death is almost meaningless on a cosmic scale.
I mean, it's nothing.
It's really nothing. We are blips in time, like not even a blink of time. Mm-hmm. Our existence, okay? It makes it very humbling to know that we're all gonna die one day. That's just a fucking fact. So, but when you look at like the grand universe, what's around us, dude, it definitely puts your ass in check, because you think your problems are something here. They're nothing. They're nothing in comparison to the universe that's around us. Okay? There's more grains of there's more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on all the beaches. I did some fact checking on that. It's planets. Okay.
There's more planets.
As you count all the grains of sand that are here on Earth, that's how many planets you have in the universe. Okay? Think about that.
Yeah. Well,
think about it.
You think how much how many problems our whole planet has, and it still is not even. Just one life, but an entire planet is still nothing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when people are bitching and complaining about shit that's going on here on Earth, I'm like, God, I don't fucking care. I care about what the fuck is happening out there.
Fucking galactic civil war going on we don't know about.
Yeah, probably.
They got the Tesseract out there somewhere about to fucking destroy the universe.
Dude, there's a new thing that I just learned about. It's called unnovas. You know what unnovas are?
I mean, I know what a supernova is.
Okay, there's supernovas, and then, okay, so an unnova is a star that is just the right size, that it collapses in on itself, and then there's nothing whatsoever.
Doesn't leave like a black hole.
It doesn't leave a black hole or anything. It just disappears out of existence.
Unnova.
Yeah. Dude, there's some fucking supermassive stars that go supernova and come into a fucking black hole that's the size of a city that has the same mass as the star.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
even more than that. Yeah.
They say there's quasars going around in this fucking galaxy or Earth.
Don't even get me started on quasars and pulsars. Fucking pulsars,
dude. Pulsars blow my fucking mind.
They are spinning so fast, and they're so tiny. It's like,
dude, they're the size of a city.
Yeah,
they're the size of a city. You get 1 tablespoon of a pulsar, and it weighs as much as every single car here on Earth.
Yeah,
a tablespoon.
The cooler thing too is it's the size of a city and even smaller in some cases, but scientists are still able to detect them hundreds of light years away. I don't know about million. I don't know how far our sight is into space, but
here's another thing about those fucking pulsars. If you got caught into a pulsar's gravity and you land on the surface, when you collide with that surface, it's as much as 15 atomic bombs going off. You landing on that surface. If you get caught in its gravity, just a human being, it's equal to 15 atomic bombs. That's the type of blast it would make.
I don't want to do that.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. You would be nothing. It would seriously compress your fucking body into something thinner than paper.
When I remember, I've always been really into black holes, and I don't know if this is still, this is a fairly old idea of what would happen if you go into a black hole, but I remember seeing that, like, your body would stretch out 7 miles as you go into this.
Spaghettification. Yeah. I don't know if, how do they know it's going to be 7 miles?
That's what I'm saying.
Though?
I don't know.
What I mean, it depends on the size of the black hole, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of different black holes, a bunch of different sizes of black holes.
What the fuck? I want to go in a black hole the last day I'm alive.
Dude, you know what else is crazy too? Like, our sun is pretty goddamn big. You can fit like 1 million Earths in our sun.
I think 100. I think 100.
Hey Google, how many Earths can you? Hey Google, how many Earths can you fit in the sun? I'm drunk. Sorry, people. 1 million Earths.
Okay? 1 million.
You can fit 1 million Earths in our sun.
I would have failed that Jeopardy.
Think about this. Okay, so think about this shit. You can fit 1 million Earths into our sun, but there's some stars out there where you can fit 1 million suns into that fucking star.
Our sun's like nothing. I mean, look at all the red giant Betelgeuse.
Mm-hmm.
I just stare. You just look up at Orion. You could just see Betelgeuse in there. You know what
Dude, that star, Betelgeuse, it's a supermassive star, and if it goes supernova, we're in the gun
We're
barrel.
in it.
We're in it, dude.
And
we'll be able to see it if it happens, and it's supposed to happen soon-ish.
So, I love Orion's one of my favorite constellations. It's because obviously you can always find it in the sky. It's really easy. But when you look at Orion's sword, he's got like that knife or sword or whatever. When you look, the tip of his sword has 2 different. God, what the fuck do they call those now?
Constellations?
No. It's a big thing of gas where the stars are forming. It's in a nebula.
Oh, nebula.
So I think it's like the Crab Nebula, and then there's one other nebula. So when you look at his sword, they look like just stars, just dim stars, but they're just these freaking nebulas where stars are being born. It's this giant freaking thing of gas. It's so cool. I think the older I get, the more I start noticing stars, and I can find Polaris, and I feel good about that. I can find the North Star in the wintertime, and I'm still working on the summertime, but I haven't tried much. But if I was in the winter, stuck in the forest, I could find Polaris, and I feel good about that. Like, okay.
Dude, I love space so much.
Space is so freaking cool.
Yeah. Dude, we're remnants from a star that died billions of years ago.
And we were probably a badass star.
Yeah, we were probably a badass, big-ass star.
Maybe even were a pulsar for a little bit.
We might have been.
Maybe some poor bastard flew
Who knows?
in.
Pulsars are really old. Pulsars are old. They're, or young, depending on how you look at it. But pulsars can live for quite a long time because it doesn't take that much energy to keep them going. Okay? But it came from a supermassive star, a pulsar, and a supermassive star doesn't last as long as like a star like ours. Maybe a couple billion years is how long a supermassive star lasts for. So those pulsars could be pretty young in comparison to what you're thinking. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that we're remnants from a star that died billions of years ago. You know, a supermassive star blew up, created a nebula, which created our solar system, our star. You know, because you look at like you know, let's just say the pillars of creation. Like inside the pillars of creation, there's all these stars forming, and all those stars have their own planets, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like all, you know, it's crazy to think like these giant clouds of gas, you know, come together to create these stars and this new life. But eventually, dude, all that hydrogen's going to run out, and eventually billions, maybe trillions of years down the road, it's just going to be black.
Well, and that's what they say. They say the way, you know, so the Big Bang happened, and since then everything's been expanding, and they say at one point all matter will be so far apart from everything, it'll just be darkness. And then some people wonder, does it come back?
Yeah. They've noticed that too. They could see it's kind of starting to slow down. So they thought that, you know, the Big Bang that created us could have happened infinite amount of times. Yeah. You know, like,
and you think about it, like
think about that, dude. Infinite. I don't mean to cut you off. I love this shit so much. So just think of like the Big Bang happening, and then all that matter and shit coming back in and colliding back into,
and that's like one breath.
Yeah, that's one breath, and then again, that could have happened infinite amount of times. Who the fuck knows? That Big Bang could have happened infinite amount of times,
and that's just one universe.
That's just one universe. Yeah, there's the idea of multiple universes, like what they talk about in Loki.
That's when I start getting dizzy, and then you think about, okay, well, space goes on forever, and like I remember I used to try and like think about that as a kid. I'm like, well, of course space goes on forever, because what would be at the end? A wall? That wall would have to go on forever. There's nothing there. Like, it would have to go on forever, because what would stop it? What would be at the end? And whatever's at the end, that would have to go on forever. But forever.
Steven, that's why I'm okay with death. I'm fine with it. If I die tomorrow, I'm fine with it. Because, dude, there's some crazy shit out there that's going on.
I just hope we get to see more space. Sometimes I'm upset. I'm like, I wish I was born like 5,000 years later, when we have a strong grasp of space travel and just get to see a bit more. Although, you know, people 1,000 years ago kind of got a raw deal because they didn't even really know about space.
Yeah, they really didn't.
They just thought, you know, they had all these other ideas. They had no idea about pulsars.
No, dude.
Black holes.
I think about that. I drove up to, what was it, Nebraska, to go watch the
solar eclipse.
The solar eclipse, and it made me emotional. It was because.
Did you go? Oh, Brad, they went up to Wyoming.
I went up with Brad. No, I was with
Brad. You guys went to Nebraska?
Yeah, we went to Nebraska.
Oh, I thought you guys went to Wyoming.
No, we went to Nebraska, but I was with Brad when I watched it, and I got emotionally. I felt it was weird. It was weird what I was experiencing. I was very emotional watching this happen because it was just one of those once in a lifetime events that you see. Okay, like you're looking at the sun. You can't look at the sun. Okay, it's impossible. Your eyes hurt. It sucks. Okay, but when that moon comes across the sun, you just see a ring of fire in the sky. You're like, what the fuck? It's crazy. It looks so fucking crazy, dude. It's just a burning ring of fire, and you could see like the fucking arches of plasma. You know, you could kind of see it. It just looks weird. It's
the solar
glowing.
flares. You know, it was
crazy.
It was fairly underwhelming here.
Well, yeah,
in Denver. You know, I thought it was going to be. It's hard to describe, but it was just kind of like a cloud, like shady almost. And I had like the special glasses you could look up, and you could see, you know, the moon moving, but it was not as cool as I thought it was going to be here. I thought it was still going to be like, it wasn't going to get dark here, but I thought it was going to be more of an event because we were so close to that. But it was, I remember I was on my way to work and I stopped at Airplane Park, if you know where that is, right off of Bellevue. And I stopped in the parking lot because that was like, we were like right in that, like, this is the peak of the eclipse. I remember just standing in the parking lot looking up. I'm like, I should have gone to Wyoming. I should have gone with everyone to wherever they went. I was like, this isn't very cool.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, because you can't see it with the naked eye. Seeing it with the naked eye is definitely a lot different because you don't need anything. You're seeing it with your very own eyes. I don't know, man. It was fucking cool. And I can only imagine like what people like a few thousand years ago would have thought if they saw that shit.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, they
were like sacrificing
ending,
their firstborns and stuff. And you know, I was thinking about that on the way over here with how smoky it is. You know, with this and all this, our poor air quality in Denver, it's because of a fire all the way in California. Like, what would people have thought? You know, just a few hundred years ago, obviously, I don't think they were stupid. Obviously, they've seen wildfires, but just driving around, you know, obviously they're not driving either. But as hazy it is, you know, what would people think?
They're like, what
then?
The fuck? Yeah.
And they're like, we better go sacrifice some people, or
yeah, we better go like cut 100 buffaloes' heads off or something silly like that.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that on the way over here. It's like it's crazy, man, and how much we think we know now that in another 1,000 years people are like, they're so fucking stupid.
That's what I think about that often. Like, you know, with what we know about the universe right now, like we're probably so fucking ignorant to like what's actually going on.
Have no clue. Like, we're as far as we think we've come, like, it'll be a joke in 500 years. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, just the medieval times to the time we landed on the moon will just be nothing to them. They'll be like, they still believed in this, and they didn't know about purple matter. Yeah, don't get me started on purple matter.
You mean red matter?
Red matter.
There's like all the colors of the fucking rainbow matter.
So I sometimes I feel a little gypped. I'm like, man, I wish I was born at a time where we had just like complete understanding of the universe.
I don't think we ever will, unfortunately, because there's so much going on up there. Because what could be happening in our galaxy could be completely different in another galaxy. I mean, the laws of physics could change in different places. I mean,
500 billion light years away.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we like to think we know, but I don't think we know shit.
I don't
really.
think we know that much.
I feel like we know a lot about what, like, around us for sure, but like, who's to say, like, in a different universe, in a multiverse, which could definitely exist, it could be a completely different set of laws of physics.
Physics are just completely different.
Yeah. So I don't think we'll ever know, man. It's until we die. I hope we can find out some shit when we die.
As much shit as we get put through in our lives, hopefully at the very end, it all gets laid out for us.
I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so, dude.
Fucking better.
But, well, let's end this shit. We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Going for quite a while.
Conversations really evolved.
They really do, man. That's why I love podcasting. It's so fun. Just to kind of lose yourself in some shit.
Yeah, I liked our space talk.
I love space talk.
Yeah.
We'll do it more. Don't worry.
Do more.
Don't you worry, big guy. Don't worry. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of High On Sci-Fi. Tune in next week. Say goodbye to the people, Steven.